Tisha?
Yes.
You sound like a hot mess over there.
I'm pissed, dude. I need my fucking computer. Need my computer, and it's pissing me off.
Well, here. Just go ahead and do it. Just make sure we have enough cord.
If we don't, I can...
Yeah, I got enough. All right.
Okay.
That's about as far as it can go.
That's fine. Right. It can go right on top of mine.
Doo-doo.
I got the double.
And now, live from the Man Cave, Studio B, deep in the heart of constitutional Livingston County, Michigan, on a Tuesday night reunion long table. Rant with co-hosts Patrick Acton, Dean McBride, and Tisha Jones. Tisha Jones, and yours truly, Larry Parsons. This is My Brain, and now your host, the guy that got his shit together and then forgot where he put it, Jeremy Scott Gibbs.
Yay!
Yay! I should probably turn my microphone on. That would help, so I don't sound like I'm in a hall of.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, there we go.
Good.
I don't have yours.
Hey.
Let's see here. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome.
Yay.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes.
Hey.
No, welcome is my stepdad.
Yeah, let's skip that.
That was his name?
That is
That
his
is his
name.
actual legal name is welcome. Yes.
Welcome. Hell, I like that.
But he goes by
Junior.
Skip. That's why I said skip that.
Okay.
Welcome, Junior.
Welcome, Skip.
Welcome.
Mhm.
Skip that. Welcome to the show, everybody. There we go. Oh, Dino's putting his button on.
Just pledging.
Pledging yourself.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Scoot back up that
Do
way.
you have yours? I don't have yours.
Look up there.
We're clear.
Okay.
You can see yourself. There we go. All right. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a really, really big show. I don't know what it is.
It's going to be a
I don't either.
You're gonna unmute yourself over there, Larry?
Did. What the heck?
You got to unmute that microphone. There's a button for you. I'll find it for you, Larry. I see some of our regular old friends are in there. Hallelujah.
Let me.
It is a Tuesday night rant, but it is a reunion rant
Woo.
because we got
Yes,
some
it
people back after a long time. How long's it been, Dino?
Oh, I'd say probably about 3 years.
Okay.
Close.
That is that
Almost about 2.5, 3.
Yeah, it's got to be in there somewhere.
No,
okay?
it's good about 3. Restoration.
Yeah. And Tisha, how long's it been since you've been here?
I think it's been probably about a year, hasn't it? Or close?
Since you've been on the show?
On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, not since I've been here, but
Okay.
on the show, I think.
I mean, as a regular.
Yeah.
Well, no, because there was a long time too in between that I couldn't come either.
Right. That's why
But I think it was before I lost my job.
Yeah,
So,
oh, yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
that's
it's
been a while.
been,
Losing
that was
your,
September.
losing your job is a good thing. It gets you back.
got you moving along.
It did.
I actually
Thankfully.
what was I thinking? I was thinking about it with how long you guys so Dean was a regular. You were on the show for about a year, right? Or more? 2 years?
Yeah.
You and Vince.
Yep.
And then
Vince,
you overlapped with Patrick for about I don't know, we figured maybe
4 or 6 months.
Yeah.
I think it was about that.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Jeremy?
I can hear you, Larry. Not in your if you're trying to talk to me in my ears.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
You have to click on that Tim channel there.
I don't have yours. It's fun.
See it? Number 15.
I don't have.
Well,
Oh, you don't.
You got to talk into that microphone, buddy.
yeah, I'm not wanting to talk.
Where's your
on the
ears
show.
at?
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't want
know.
to talk? You just want to talk to me?
No,
Fuck if I know.
am I back on the show now? Did I click something that?
I opened it up if you needed to talk to me.
Oh, there you go.
So you
Right there
unmute
on the
that
yellow
15
button.
right there, buddy. We're just going over some details here, getting everything going.
Steal them from the elephant. The elephant doesn't need them.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know where to plug them in.
yeah, stealing
If
from
I
the
did
elephant.
Steal them from the elephant. There's a lot of things I'd like to steal from some elephants, but
Dino, let's move your microphone down a little bit. It's rubbing on your shirt collar and giving us a little fuzz.
is it his or mine?
It's his. I just muted his to verify. You're all tangled up there a little bit, buddy. All kinds of a hot mess. Did you steal them?
Not yet.
No wonder. Oh,
Man,
whiskey
nice.
bottle down. Whiskey bottle down.
At least it's not open, so there's nothing to spill out of it. Sorry.
Don't spill whiskey. That's alcoholic.
Somebody thinks in
I know,
chat that you're
no,
disgracing the
yes.
flag because it's upside down. Dino
What?
is definitely showing that the flag is in
peril.
distress.
Right.
That's not disgraceful.
Stress.
Stress.
Mhm.
Do I have ears now?
Are you plugged in?
I am now.
You should have them. You should be able to hear it. Did you turn it on?
Me now?
I think that would have been a little more appropriate under Biden.
I can hear
with
you
the
now.
stress, but
Well, if it's appropriate for
I can try to
everybody,
hear you
I'll
now.
take it up.
You're not
Somebody's highly
I
offended.
just, sometimes you just have to throw a
Triggered.
shocking appeal.
Trigger warning.
Trigger
just to
warnings.
see what people will say.
Okay, they're not staying in my ear, so I don't need them anyway.
Well, you might need them. If I play a clip,
No.
it's all good. It's all good. We'll figure it out. All right. The show is going good. Happy to be here.
So what's on our agenda?
Reunion rant. How was dinner? Some slow smoked
Very good.
ribs.
I'm stuffed.
I could eat them.
Again?
It was great.
They pulled right out the bone.
Dude.
It did fall out the
Ricky,
bone.
dude.
The only problem with ribs like that is they
There's
taste
no
like more.
Right?
Tastes like more.
It's never enough.
It's never enough.
Right.
All right. And we had some, I made the cornbread casserole. That's a pretty good
So
staple right there.
good.
Yep. Cornbread was
That's
awesome.
good.
So good.
I've
You know-
only had it twice from you.
Vince, when he was a kid, that was one of the things he loved to make on his own. He would make a cornbread, just make cornbread. He loved to just make regular cornbread out of the Jiffy box, and you mix what's it got, like an egg in it, a little bit of milk.
Sure.
And when James's first wife showed me how to make the cornbread casserole, and it's just like, it's one can of cream corn, one can of regular corn, a box of Jiffy mix, a stick of butter, and a big spoonful of sour cream, and you cook it at 350, 375 for about an hour.
Mhm.
After you mix it all together,
Sure.
you melt the butter, and you just mix it all together, throw it in there. I'm like, dude,
So good.
it's corn plus corn plus
Plus
corn
Mm-hmm.
plus butter
It's
Plus
like
Jiffy
candy.
plus sour
Yeah.
cream.
It's like
How
candy.
dare
Plus
you
the corn-
forget the
I'm like,
butter. For the love of God,
This
don't
is
forget
this
the butter.
works for me, man.
Jiffy's right down the street,
Right.
You
Okay.
probably go there and get it for free. They do.
I'm plugged in, but I still don't
Every
have
time they
ears.
have a parade in town, they're giving it away. Free
Yeah.
Jiffy mix.
That's that. I've tried some other mixes. I don't until Jiffy really fucks up and until they really mess up.
F-bomb.
It's not after 9 o'clock yet, so I didn't. I didn't
you know
warn
what I
anybody.
didn't know was made in Michigan. That's a mix.
What?
Drake's.
I like Drake's.
I love Drake's, and
My-
I didn't know it was made here, but it is.
My grandfather used to use
Drake's.
Drake's for.
Drake's batter.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, the best.
that was the number one mix of the fishing camp. That's what Grandpa used to put on the trout. Was a
'Cause
little
it's
bit of
good.
Drake's. Little bit of Drake's. We've been talking about the fishing trip. We're gonna get it organized. Dino's wanting to do it. I think
I'm in.
Patrick's in. Well, there you go.
We don't hang out in the woods though.
We figured, yeah.
We've upgraded.
So
from
we
that.
figured this
Are you
that
glamping?
me and the younger blood here, we're gonna go and do the rustic thing, and you're gonna do the cabin thing.
Yeah,
I'm
him
living
and
Patrick's glamping.
We'll have the fire ready.
him
for
and
you.
Vince are.
No, we got to refire it out back.
Oh, bring it on your
I
cabin.
think Jeremy's got
Well, it's
some.
not like our fire.
Oh, we bring a fire out.
What do you got, Larry?
So I think Jeremy's got
More
some
than one
walleye.
fire.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I may have.
Yeah,
I may have
10-4,
some
buddy.
When all the bugs come out and start getting you guys, you'll be moving back into the cabin.
Perhaps. I'll tell you what, nothing bug wise, nothing compares to the trip we took the year before you went with me, Patrick, with me and you and Vincent. Who'd we have?
I think it was with Adam, and it was with
And Vince and me and you.
Blood there.
No, there was two separate ones.
Okay,
Right?
Because I know we went twice.
Was there? Yeah. One
think
we
it
went
was
with
the
Adam,
first
and
time
one we
we
went with William.
Okay, so they were separate, right?
And I'll tell you what, that year, we usually went around Memorial Day. And that year, we went right at Memorial Day weekend. We went like Thursday, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
And Dean and I walking through the woods, it was like you were at an airport with every plane taking off. The mosquitoes were, it was a dark swarm around you.
that's
Yeah.
It was like,
We had to pull out our mosquito nets.
dude, you got mosquito nets and you're spraying your hands every 5 minutes.
Big sombrero.
because they'll just
fishing
land on your
hats.
hands.
My concern is in the morning when you gotta expose your ass to take care of
Your
what
business?
comes naturally. What about your balls, man? Your balls.
Well, we did. That was
Listen, I am the hen invading the cock house tonight instead of the cocks invading the hen house.
right. You are.
I'm intruding on the bachelor.
No,
party.
you're good.
It's
You're
really
good. You're
weird.
good. We're just figuring it out. But we were talking about food, so it got me going.
Just that's patriotism.
Exactly. Exactly. I see the chat's feeling lively over there. They're feeling all spicy. So let's do this.
I did want to go back
So-
to one little part of that story, though.
What's that?
I decided to take off the venture without a compass.
How dare you.
And I took some 2-tracks up and around that he took me around just when we first got there. So I thought to myself, well, if I just follow up right up through there, I'll just come down right off on the creek somewhere over here. No, I was stupid. I ended up going I'm like, all right, I'm going to go just a little bit of degrees this way. I'm going to go a little bit of degrees this way. Finally, I get to where I need to be, but there's this huge ledge that goes all the way down, and it's all mossy and soft. So I'm like sliding down this damn thing. And I get to the bottom, and at the bottom, it's all edgy, like slate rock. So I slam down on this shit. Right.
No.
And I finally get myself together, and I'm coming up, and when he talks about the bugs, like not even the net, nothing. I mean, they were biting through even the stuff I was wearing. Like,
They're
it was
nuts,
bad.
dude.
It was
Anyways,
something
that
awful
was a little
nice.
story. But I did make it back because I followed that river back to our campsite.
Right.
See, there's just something awful nice about it. At the end of the day, when you've been out in the river, in the woods and what have you, coming back to a place where it's got a real kitchen and and normal lights and
Homely.
and a shitter, that you can actually sit on. and
I think that
relax
was the
in.
most important part.
It was, yep. And comfortable beds to sleep in at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I still got energy.
Good morning.
Well, I know for William, when he was up there, man, it was difficult
Tuesday.
for him. Yeah, he would because we had a setup where we made a little shelter, dug a hole. I've got the actual portable toilet thing, and so you can either use it with a bag, or you can just let it flow through and dig a hole underneath it.
Yeah.
And either way, William he was like, we're like, you're okay, William. We're go do your thing, bro. And he was just, he's a kid. He was self-conscious about the whole thing. It was crazy. I have not tried the Lake Sportsman fish fry there, Dale, but we'll have to go try it out one night, one of the Fridays on a fish fry. Anyways, all right, let's get started with this. What do you say?
We didn't completely cover the entire dinner.
Oh yeah, signature salad.
Signature salad.
Yeah.
Man. I was
Yay,
always
I
gonna
have
have
one.
signature salad.
I had signature salad.
What did you say? Robert would have loved the ribs and the cornbread, but
We have a saying at our house.
Mhm.
I don't eat what my food eats.
this is true. But you ate salad.
So we don't have a lot of vegetables at my house.
Hey, I am a fully refined vegan, man. I only eat grass-fed cows.
We
Right on.
we just aren't very veggie people.
And you know what? Being a refined vegan, it is much more appropriate because cows have 4 stomachs and they thoroughly break down all of the greens that they eat.
Absolutely.
And therefore, when I eat a cow, I'm getting a 4 times refined.
So you're vegan
Grain.
that way, right?
I am vegan.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
I got
totally
it.
vegan, dude. I am.
It just
I
moves
need to
before
put
you.
tofu,
Well, you've seen
or
the-
what is it, that
Oh
tallow
God.
fat or whatever back in the meat.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a big push right now. Everybody's pushing
Right.
back to
Beef tallow.
beef tallow and
It's a
Oh,
thing.
that's where you go.
No,
Yeah.
the carnivore
It's a thing
diet.
again.
Carnivore diet is
Yeah.
a big thing right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Larry, are you paying attention to cameras over there, buddy?
Yes.
Are you are? Because
still
I
don't
left it
have
on me and
yours in
Patrick
case
for
we're
like that
wondering.
whole last 2 minutes of conversation. I'm like, what's Larry doing over there? What'd you say, Tish?
I still don't have yours.
Is your thing on?
It's plugged in.
Yeah, but you gotta.
Is there batteries in it?
Oh no. There's a pack.
Yeah.
There's not a pack. The only pack I have is my microphone.
Did I not give you a rail pack?
Nope. See, Mike Peck. No.
You don't see
Peck.
anything over there? All right. Well, then I will give you
I
a
don't
real
need
peck.
ears.
You do. Don't
Okay.
tell me. How you going to tell me?
Listen, I've told you a lot of things. Like, let's not bring that up.
I like how your voice went really soft right there.
There you go.
How you gonna tell me?
How you going to tell me? How you going to?
I'm not
Anyways,
saying shit.
what was I saying?
I don't know, but now I gotta freaking figure this shit out too. I said frickin', just so we're clear.
You did not.
I did. Did I not?
I thought you said picking.
Well, it's still not the F word. Technically.
True.
Now my ears are very loud.
Well, you got a volume button on there.
Yeah, it's going way down.
So I was going to show you guys this.
The carnivore diet.
Oh, look at that.
This right here.
It's like louder.
You can turn it down.
You can't be louder than Crowder.
This is, of course, it's not going to do that. That right there. Go to this one, Larry. Where's my
Looks yummy.
wall feed?
What's that?
Where'd my buttons go? Oh, it's right there. Wall feed. Oops, I did it at the same time Larry did it. That is what we call right there. That slab of meat with a little parsley on the top.
We call
Or a
it
little sprig.
uncooked.
That is called salad.
It's called raw. Yeah, that's about the salad that we would eat at home.
I knew there was something behind this.
That is what we call salad right there, and I just
This
wanted you
guy
guys to
knows how
recognize.
vegan.
That is definitely my kind of salad.
That is a beautiful
Yeah,
salad.
that's-
I like my
Pretty
salad
damn
medium
raw.
rare.
Yes, just slightly not moving.
Mine has to be dead, crucified, and blackened before I'll touch it.
Really?
That's really descriptive.
You know my problem? I would eat all my steaks like a medium rare or even a rare. Okay?
Yeah.
Except I usually get like a ribeye or a porterhouse, and they start getting cold before I
Right.
finish.
Yeah.
So I tend to go with a little bit more medium, just because it stays warmer.
Yep.
But one thing I've started doing, you saw me do it. What day was that? Sunday? Maybe it was Sunday. Yeah, we were hanging out Sunday, watching a hockey game.
Those loins.
Or no, last night. Yeah, it was last night. Shit.
No, with that steak.
I take my plate while I'm cooking the steak, and I put the plate on top of the grill.
You gotta talk about
keep
how
it
you
warm.
found it first before you talk about how you cooked it.
Where did I find it?
Found where
Oh.
you found it at
Oh, yeah, we went over to Kroger,
Kroger.
and I'm looking through all the steaks, and I
Yeah.
find the one that looks great. It's the only one without a label. Ended up being
The best one.
the best one and the cheapest one.
Nice.
I was like,
always the
Did you ever
best.
cop that
I was
deal?
like, done deal.
Always best.
Loaded up. All right, we're gonna do this. And why? Somebody's fuzzing all of a sudden. Is it me?
Probably because you gave me ears.
I got up and it's now hit a frequency. We went through and troubleshot a whole frequency today before the show, and now my own pack is being a douche.
Then I read an article about the carnivore diet and how it actually is very advantageous towards your health.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a lot of energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
People feel much better after eating it for 3 or 4 days, and you actually lose weight.
Oh, imagine that.
Because
Yeah.
you cut out sugar.
Well, you've got the
carbs. And such.
yeah the carbs. When they talk about carbs today, they're not the carbs of 50 years ago or 100 years ago.
Right.
Those were real carbs. Now they talk about carbs. It's just processed shit.
Right.
Well, what kind of carbs? What kind of carbs do we have in the cornbread?
Corn,
Corn.
And corn.
And
butter,
and more corn. A little bit of butter.
butter, sour cream.
Butter.
Butter's not a carb.
I'm saying. I mean,
However.
it's hardcore, and they go after a lot. They attack corn a lot. I hear a lot of people talking about corn. You know what? If you're not using this high fructose corn syrup, and you're not getting GMO corn, regular corn, sweet corn. I grew up on a farm. I used to watch my uncle walk out into the field, and we would have so there would be all the field corn for the cattle, but then there would be designated areas in the fields that were just sweet corn. And I remember walking out with him a couple different times, and he'd grab that corn right off the stalk to check it, and he'd pull back a little bit the ear and see how it was, and he'd just take a big bite out of it right there.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, if you've got good sweet corn,
Right.
you can
Those
eat it raw.
kernels-
You can eat it raw
Those
right out in the
kernels
field.
burst with a sweetness.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah, and that was non-GMO, non
Mm-hmm.
screwed up, all sorts of bull.
And actually, there's about 5 to 7 days that you can eat field corn. That's sweet.
Right
If
before you let it process.
You gotta
Yeah.
catch it at the right time.
Yep.
Cook it properly.
Right.
Yep.
Man,
I love it.
yeah.
That's
We're going to do
Sounds like a
disclaimers here in a
farmer's diet.
second. I am clicking on my buttons because I had an update just before the show started. And it,
Figures.
of course, erased all of my presets here. And I'm going to have Tisha do the show disclaimer. I didn't load up a grandma, but I'm trying to make sure that we have a grandma quote. Tim, before he left, was nice enough to put together a montage of Grandma Connie reading.
You hear
reading
anything
the-
from him anyway? Is he like?
He's called me a couple times, but yeah.
Has he made it out there?
Last time I know, he's in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Mhm. Yep.
Posted on Facebook.
Yep. All right, let's do this. Tisha, go ahead.
Wow, I haven't seen this in so long. I'm not sure I remember.
Right?
Notice this podcast is mostly raw and unfiltered and completely politically incorrect.
Yes.
We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. We only recognize 2 genders.
Dangle, no dangle.
As adults, we enjoy adult beverages.
Cheers.
We cuss. We do not curse or swear. Maybe sometimes.
We might curse it once. They cuss.
We love Jesus, but hate religion and religious hypocrites. If any of this offends you, please leave now.
You know
Arrivederci.
You know the story. That's for the new people tuning in. That's for
There
the new
goes my
people
ears.
tuning in. Let's not do that. Let's not drop your stuff over there.
Give me 2
And I'm going to
cats.
race through these real quick and just get them done. I have to unclick that one because of the way it's set up. And I'm going to go to this one, Mr. Acton.
Oh, that's Patrick's favorite.
I would challenge you to a battle of wits, but I can clearly see that you are unarmed.
Very
No
nice.
arms. Where's the no arm
No-
guy?
no arm guy's
Where
right
is
here.
he? Yeah,
Is he out there?
there he
Armless.
is. Hey, no
He's
arms.
unarmed.
No arms.
Let's get a close up on that.
This is arm
Where's my
free.
drink one? There.
There
No
he is.
arms.
No arms.
Look at that. You can see the sockets where his arms
Should be.
formerly were attached.
You should let him play the drums for your band.
He got lippy. You know what? There's a Def Leppard guy that can do it with one arm, but
So
he doesn't
funny.
do that
You
well.
just said.
Okay,
Never.
and then I'm gonna do. Let's see here. What do you think, Dino?
Oh, I don't know.
What
do you want to do?
I'm gonna give you.
Be over here probably.
You know what?
You gonna
You know
give me
what?
a John Wayne?
I'm gonna give you this one. Let's do that one, buddy.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you.
Bears.
They just kill you.
Bears just can
They
kill you.
don't.
Yeah,
They
don't you
will
have
kill
a
you.
story about that?
Bears.
don't.
Oh, you were telling
I
the
just
story
told
down.
one earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, yeah. We'll
We'll
leave out the
leave
names.
names out.
Leave the names out.
So
Yeah.
here we are coming off Porcupine Mountain up in the UP. It's a nice day, and there's these 2 cubs that come wandering out in front of Jeremy's truck. Well, the spectator with us decided that he wanted to open the door and thought they were so cute.
These 2 bear cubs.
Shut up.
So
Oh,
he
yeah.
goes to get out of the door, and he's got already 1 boot out of that truck. And I'm like, wow. Did I grab him? And I'm like, no, shut
Oh
that
my
damn door.
God.
I
Yeah.
said, listen, dude. And we all chimed in at the same time. Are you stupid? Like,
Obviously.
like we all got serious with him.
Mhm.
I think I pretty much was like, "What the hell
And
is
then
wrong with you?"
We told him, we said, well, you
My
see,
God.
the mother always sends those 2 cubs out first so that she has eyes on them while she sits at the tree line.
Yeah.
So if you were to get in crosshairs with that,
Yeah.
did you think you were going to fight it?
Yeah.
No.
Was he?
We seen his performance all week. It sucked.
Yeah.
Was he a Democrat?
No, but he
No.
was not that brilliant.
Just not bright. Whatever.
Yep.
You know,
when God was passing out
You know,
brains,
But we got to pray for those people. You
Right?
know what I mean?
when God was passing out brains, he thought he
We
said
did.
trains.
Oh,
He said, "I'll
Jeremy.
take the next one."
Common sense isn't so common.
Or a slow one.
Slow train.
Take the slow train.
The slow train. Okay, I'm gonna do. Larry, you're over there at the table. Can we hear you?
No.
Oh, okay. Larry, can you read that for us, buddy?
Oh, let me see. Oh, this is a new one.
That's a new one for you. You
Yeah.
haven't done that one before.
Yeah.
Try it out.
Let's see. The Bill of Rights.
Uh-huh.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, period. That is the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. It was issued on 12/15/1791 and it expires when they can pry it out of your cold
When they
dead
pry it
hands.
from my cold, dead
about right.
hands.
I saw
Sounds
some legislation they're trying to get through to make it open carry, or you can carry anywhere in the country.
Constitutional carry.
Yeah.
They're trying to pass that state nationwide.
Well, it's funny. They should, according to the document I just read right there.
Yeah.
Where does it say I need a permit?
Right.
Nowhere.
Yeah, I don't see anything about red flag laws in there. Do you see anything about
I
red
don't.
flag
No,
laws?
sir.
No.
You know what? I
I
think
don't.
an armed society is a polite society.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Uh,
and a
so
safe
I-
society.
So I say, you know what? Let everybody have a guns.
What they do in the 1960s when they had a threat? My
Mhm.
grandpa and uncle came out there with a shotgun. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, just come up.
Well, what was what was the word during World War II from the Japanese? They said, we'll never conquer America.
Right.
There's a gun hiding
Right.
behind every blade of
Every
grass.
blade.
Oh, don't make me talk about what Canada's talking about right now.
Oh, Canada's so
No.
stupid. Did you see the Canadian
Let's
Air
not.
Force
Oh,
flying
come
over?
on.
They fly in a V.
Yep.
They just make a lot of noise and then
Yeah,
they shit all over your lawn.
Goose.
And that's exactly it. They quack or they quack.
Say quack. Sorry. That's funny.
The Canadian military couldn't fight its way out of
We
a wet
got this
paper bag.
eagle that goes.
Now, we don't want to impugn all of Canadians. There are many
I know.
beautiful
I
beautiful
guess
Canadians,
it is.
even though their government is full of dumb shits, just
Crap.
like ours has been
Yeah.
for a long
And actually,
Yeah, but they got a lot
they
of
say
dumb
that the
shits.
majority of them are good people.
Yes.
They are.
Their government's
very-
just a little
You may have
theft.
done shit
And the
in
ones
your
that
neck
are
of the
awake,
woods,
they are
but-
definitely fighting against that.
Oh yeah.
Would you crank that up, Larry?
I did.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I mean, you saw what the farmers were doing back then. At this COVID shutdown thing,
Right.
pulling into town with their shit
Semi
hauler.
trucks. Oh
No,
yeah.
their shit hauler. And they were
Oh
just
yeah.
cranking up the shit hauler and
Yep.
Yeah.
blowing it all over
Spray.
Parliament.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. That was awesome. All right, let's finish up with these, and then we'll get to we'll double check chat because I know they're crazy over there.
Where's
Whoops.
the bomb?
What did I do?
Oh, what did you do?
What did I do?
Where'd you go?
There you go.
Oh, I hit the button at the bottom. That's what I did.
That's what you did.
I did.
Should I click this button right here? It says LPTP. See what that does?
His push buttons over there.
Oh,
No, that's the.
no.
Don't push that one, huh?
What is that one?
I don't know.
LPT.
Like, what wire should I cut?
I thought that was laptop.
Click the red one.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah,
Laptop TP.
yeah, but that's not plugged in right now.
Okay.
I don't
I-
think so. Let's push it. Let's see what happens. No,
No, it's
that's
green.
tied to my. That's tied to my drinking one.
That's your drinking one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my drinking one.
Okay.
And tonight I'm without DiSerono. We need to take up a fund. Guys, go to thealexjonesstore.com/this is my brain and buy something. Buy a supplement, buy a hat, buy a t-shirt. We get a kickback from that.
So we
thealexjonesstore.com/this is my brain. We get a kickback and I can buy some DiSerono. I'm a little light on DiSerono this week.
yes, you need these wrong. It's not the same podcast without it.
I'm
It's really
enjoying
not.
this one. Does it say Irish today, hungover tomorrow? That's about right.
Hey, that's all right. Because
That's
the
all right.
leprechaun made me do it.
And leprechaun made me do it. See, we have all these cool. I forgot that we had all of these cool koozies from. What are you doing over there, Larry?
I'm trying to turn something off.
I had all these
I
cool
ended up turning it on.
koozies from St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, "Damn, these are
may
cool."
have taken one of your hats home.
What?
So funny. It's sitting on
You didn't.
our hook over the door.
I love it.
guys
It
too.
was
That's why you took
expected.
it. I took one of Nicole's hair clips too.
Of course he did.
I wore it
Or you did.
I wore it to the store.
I'll finish with this one, then we'll do the other thing. Let's see if my button works. This button. I'm trying to push all sorts of buttons. In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him. For then it costs nothing to be a patriot. Mark Twain. So we're seeing a few candy asses show up now and then.
There's one more that we never do
Is that what
anymore.
you call me when I don't come
Which
for
one?
a year?
No.
To argue with
No.
someone.
Oh,
To argue with someone who has renounced the sense of reason
Yeah.
is like administering medicine to the
dead.
dead.
yeah. Yeah, that one. Kelly did that one like last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes
Yeah.
my hairs again.
And
Would
that
you
is
clip
it.
them on?
That
This
is
really
very true.
comical. I love it.
What?
Well, we have episodes upon
Oh.
episodes.
Yeah, that's the phrase right there.
Episodes?
Okay, let's do this. Let's finish up these because we've taken a little bit of time and enjoyed ourselves.
Sorry.
All in unison here.
All right, ready?
Never
apologize
and never explain.
It's a sign of weakness. And
I'm so bad at that.
where was it at? There it is.
Are your feelings
Her
hurt?
words down.
Oh,
Oh, girl, baby, girl.
oh, really, baby? Oh, they cannot take the
There's
words.
another motion to strike her words again.
Girl, I don't
We
think
are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I'm not
Has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not
nerve-wracking.
apologizing.
Chair
Fine.
recognizes Ms.
Hello.
Green.
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Reserving the right to
No,
object.
no, let's go. Come on, guys.
What is that from?
Marjorie
There was
Taylor
a
Greene.
there was MTG and AOC and who's the other daft the black chick with the big fake eyelashes that's actually was raised in a middle class neighborhood and tries to act all like hood rat and she was raised like upper middle
She had
class.
firm hair.
Dude, she had these huge eyelashes, fake eyelashes on, and MTG was like, well, maybe you don't realize what we're actually voting on and discussing right now because you got those fake eyelashes on. And that set them all off. Oh, yeah, dude, the whole thing.
Hilarious.
And that's what AOC jumped in. And she's like, you need to apologize for that. That was, she's like, look, this chick started asking questions about shit that's not even, we're not even talking about that
Right.
stuff. What the hell's wrong with you?
No
Anyway.
relation.
Anyways, steak. That's what's for dinner.
Oh,
I'll look that one
ribs
up.
tonight. It was
Ribs, yeah. But I was just speaking in general.
Oh, okay.
I was just speaking in
Yes,
generalities.
yes.
The steaks, you know, it's like a,
Patrick.
Those
Patrick,
ribs
keep
are
me in-
awesome.
Very
Patrick's keeping me in
assertive
check
you are.
there. There it is.
As we
Anything,
must.
anything going on in chat over there that we need to be aware of, Larry?
Looks like it's going crazy. What in the-
Chad is going crazy. Is John Bovey causing trouble again? Be a resident
Oh, we have our heckler.
Fed.
Somebody's saying it's frozen on stream still on Facebook, so maybe Rumble issues. What's up?
Hmm.
The stream froze. I'm seeing it over here, and I'm watching it. So I monitor chat by watching our show from a stream. So
I mean,
it has to go out into the interwebs and then come back. Larry, you're seeing it over there,
do I
right?
need to go on Facebook
No, I'm
and
not
check it?
actually.
Oh, he said Rumble is down.
Rumble is down.
Oh,
How, John Bovey? How can Rumble be down and you are
discussing.
chatting in Rumble?
Right.
I don't quite understand.
I think you
Well,
sound
check out Rumble because we're
I don't
Stupid.
rumble.
as stupid
actually,
is
What
stupid.
do I got?
does.
That's what we're on is Rumble. Let me see.
He's doing stupid shit.
yeah.
Oh, now I see what he's saying.
What's going on?
Oh, it's very delayed, isn't it?
No, it's saying that
It's
it's
frozen there. Ah.
Father God, I ask that you
Oh.
bring the fire of the Holy Spirit over this table and that everything is going to work just fine for the rest of the night. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
all right. So apparently people are saying that we are frozen, but we're still on Facebook.
We look frozen.
Well,
Well,
Facebook, you're
there's the
ready.
streams right there.
I'm looking at this one over here.
I know. Larry, what are you seeing on our
I'm
stream
not
over there, buddy?
moving.
Yep, it's frozen on Dean picking his nose.
Yeah.
Woo.
Now it seems normal. Raise your right hand. Yeah, you're live. Or right where it says looking at, you want me to look in the program window, right? Or am I?
Hey, who?
No, the browser. Yeah, it's starting over on Rumble for some reason.
Oh boy.
Huh. That's weird. Well, we're still going on the other channels,
We need to hire a barmaid.
right?
We,
Are you dry?
we need to hire a barmaid.
Yeah.
And
Don't get excited, Larry.
Well, I keep telling Jeremy he needs to put a pole up in here, dancing pole.
Well, no, I'm not going that far.
That went the wrong direction rather quickly.
Half cool will travel.
Not that anybody would use it. I'm just saying.
Well,
Always talk about a fireball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do over there because I can see us live over there. It's got to be a Rumble. It can't be us.
Rumble down.
Do you guys normally have any issues with Rumble?
No, not really.
Well, Rumble's been getting heavy duty attacks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been getting a lot of a lot of attacks been going on. X was down a week and a half ago. They took that down for a while. Rumble was getting attacked. There's been a lot of shenanigans. That was another
We're kind of used to shenanigans, aren't we?
shenanigans. All right. Well, Rumble still may be recording the stream. Who knows? Well, I'm seeing it over here. And here's the thing. If it's still on Facebook, let me go over to Facebook and check it out. If we're still live on Facebook, let's see there. It's showing it live on Facebook. So,
Live.
yeah, it's showing it live there. Yeah. Yep. Dean just put his cap back on. It's blanking. You saw that go black and then it's coming back.
Yeah, it's live. From live.
Weird. We got 3 people over there now watching. I guess you guys got to migrate over there.
Hi, 3 people.
If you're somehow
Migrate.
they're putting
Is
it out
that
there.
a legal immigrant?
Migrate. We can legally migrate.
Migrate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
Legally.
Larry, you're not in
For
the
now.
chat, right? Or can you do it on your phone?
Yeah.
Type in your phone, say we're not sure what's going on, but if you want to watch the chat or watch the show, you can go or migrate over to Facebook or YouTube till they demonetize. Well, we've never been monetized. Why would you monetize a show like this?
I would.
I would
But
as
you're
well,
on YouTube?
but
know.
you
I
know,
would. Because things are going to get exciting in the next couple weeks.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the show got ended. Yeah, it shows 20 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm gonna refresh it again, and
Good job, back. I got a better one.
it's apparently not letting us do that. But the chat's still. It's weird. The chat's still going, but it's saying it stopped the feed.
All right. Do you see my post in the
Yep.
feed? Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I just checked Facebook, and it's working fine over there because I'm staring at the camera, and there's everybody else. Okay, so.
I wanted to say something about that. That what we were talking about Canada earlier is that there is this guy that I was following back there through all the COVID shit. His name was Patrick King, King Patrick, or whatever it was. But anyways, this guy was such a beacon because he's a truck driver. And he got everybody as an arsenal. I mean, a huge, what do you call them, convoy.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought all those semis right down central where? The capital of Canada,
do I turn that?
wherever it, where they were at Montreal. I don't remember where they were, but I just remember they just laid on their horns all day.
Yeah.
Wah!
Right.
Yep.
They ended up detaining him indefinitely for a long time, and he finally just got released, and he's back promoting what he started. Now that right there, Canada,
Yep.
come on.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're trying to do the same thing here.
Yeah.
Believe me, we're all brothers and sisters.
All right. Well, I hit the record button over there because we weren't recording. Even though we're playing on the other shows, that's fine. It's fine.
Eh,
Good to go. I don't know what's going on here.
crazy.
Can somebody tell me what's actually going on here?
They've hacked it.
They did hack it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it.
I remember when that happened. That was
They
awful.
knew I was coming.
All right, we just went down. Something happened here.
Well, you're pushing buttons over there, Larry.
Stop pushing buttons. That was my main problem when I worked
Yeah.
master control. I was so scared to push buttons.
How did you black out the ones?
I don't know what happened there.
But I mean, what would have went wrong?
Huh?
What would have went wrong?
The wrong show would have ended up on TV instead of the one that was.
What are you trying to have?
I don't know what's going on, but here we go. We got it back.
And now
They
you're at the
watched
bottom,
that
Larry.
instead of
Now
that.
I'm at the bottom. There we go.
Right.
You
I
never
had my
know.
way.
Anyways, we were.
Yeah, everybody should just migrate over to the Facebook page and
Yeah, for
watch
now.
the show there for now.
Well, you have to put that in
Bar
chat,
me.
Larry. They can't hear us.
You
need to run down?
Straight down.
You need to run. You need to run down there, Dino.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, I'll mute you.
It's like, you know,
I'm gonna bring up like, does anybody want something?
let my son use my computer when he was little, and
Mhm.
he Googled the White House, and I didn't know about it. And the next day, I had to do a Zoom meeting for nationally,
Oh, fun.
and the White House is a strip site. it's a porn site.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dino, I will take one more of these.
You want a what?
A green.
Crown Royal or?
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Strip site, huh?
Yeah.
The White House, not the White House, but the
The White House.
White House. They'd like to clone that so that you get caught in there.
Yep.
Yeah. This is really weird that we're using the Rumble app to stream
Everywhere else.
everywhere else,
And we're fine everywhere else.
and we're
except
fine everywhere
Rumble.
else except Rumble.
Rumble's
It
done.
Lovely.
doesn't make a sense
It
to me.
doesn't really.
At all. It doesn't make a sense to me. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to pull this quote up here real quick after I type it in because I had it pulled up on the laptop down there.
Is that my fault?
No,
'Cause I'm using a
no, I had the
computer.
other laptop. I'm going to pull this quote up. Here it is. Where in the company of old friends. All right, I guess I got to type up more of it.
Keep forgetting it.
Let's try that. Now, why would you have a website at the top of the list that has the quote in it, and then you click on it and the website is blank? Oh, so annoying. Anyways, all right, I guess I'm not going to be able to pull it up for you. I'm just going to read this quote for you. And I couldn't find the author of the quote either, but I liked the quote when I pulled it up. In the company of old friends, there is an implicit permission to be authentically ourselves, free from pretense or fear of judgment. So, no matter where life's currents take you, having these long-standing confidants on speed dial is a blessing that deserves to be cherished. I thought that was a good quote for having Dean and Tisha back on the show tonight. Thought that was good. Yeah.
Can't find it either in case you're wondering.
So I wanted to share that quote with everybody. Let's see.
You want to talk about these judges and what's going on with that, especially this Boasberg thing. I sent that to you.
Yeah, I've got that. Where do I got that in the list?
It's on there.
5.
Yep.
You mean all these Democrat-appointed judges that
Yep.
are trying to interfere with the functions of the military and with foreign policy?
It's Trump's going to have to pull a John Adams. You know what John Adams did, didn't you?
Go ahead and tell us, Patrick.
The Supreme Court told him he couldn't do what he wanted to do,
Mhm.
and he told him, "You guys made the decision. That's fine. you go ahead and enforce it.
That was Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Well,
Andrew
no,
Jackson.
okay, no, John Adams. John Adams said to the Supreme Court
He
that
said something similar.
no, this is a little different.
Okay.
He said that you guys are in charge of the judiciary.
Yeah.
But I'm in charge of the U.S. military,
Yes.
and we're going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Try to stop us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a video you sent me? No, it's just the this is the article.
Yeah.
The hell?
Let's see, Brave. We'll go to Wolfie there. So what's up with this curmudgeon here?
Well, that's Boasberg.
Yeah. The Trump legal team drops a bomb, refuses to answer judge when asked if any flights have left since the order was handed down. What are those flights? Quote, those are operational issues and I am not at liberty to provide information. In a fiery response, the Department of Justice blasted attempts by plaintiffs to interfere with President Donald Trump's national security and foreign affairs authority. The DOJ sharply criticized the plaintiffs, stating clearly plaintiffs cannot use these proceedings to interfere with the president's national security and foreign affairs authority. The court lacks jurisdiction to do so. Referencing strong Supreme Court precedent, the DOJ reinforced its standing, arguing the very nature of the president's power to order the removal of enemy aliens rejects the notion that courts may pass judgment upon the exercise of his discretion. They further clarified no violations occurred, firmly stating the flights identified by plaintiffs departed from the United States before the court's injunction was officially issued. And it goes on to talk about that. The big thing about this, what I really like is, and I'll ask you guys what you're seeing. There is a lot of stuff that the previous administrations, multiple administrations, put in place. A lot of bullshit that they put in place that they abused and overstepped. That Trump, in his wisdom, is now using, and they're having a conniption fit about it. And it harkens back to when I was thinking about the filibuster. Remember when the Democrats tried to remove the filibuster?
Yep.
And they somehow realized that if they remove the filibuster, then when it came time and they were in the minority, they wouldn't be able to use it against Republicans, and so they backed off of it. But we've watched for administration after administration after administration implement these executive orders, do all sorts of things, and they do walk a legal line.
Without question.
I think Trump's issue in his first term was that he was such a strict constitutionalist, and he was surrounded by a whole bunch of nefarious people that he didn't push the boundaries. Now he's like, I'm just going to sign a bunch of executive orders. I'm going to do this. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I like it a whole lot. He has an agenda. We have at least 2 years, hopefully 4, hopefully 8. But he needs to accomplish as much as possible in a short period of time. And if we let bozos like Boasberg get in the way, he'll tie this thing up in court till the cows come home.
Right.
Well, isn't that what they want to do?
Yes.
They want to try and stop Trump any way they can, and the only way to do that is to get liberal activist judges to come in, violate their oath of office, and abuse their authority and try and stop them by throwing their judicial weight around. But maybe Trump should just say, hey, listen, I'm not going to stop until the Supreme Court tells me I have to.
Well, even then, in this one here, it was Megyn Kelly that read. I think I sent that one to you as well.
Okay.
Where she read the articles of this, and she said that it says right in there that this is a power for the president only, and that he has strict authority to be able to do that right there. That's it.
This is a video?
I'll let her explain. Yeah, it's a video.
Unmute.
Not the Supreme Court, not the appellate court, not the district court. That's the answer. There is no court, including the highest court in the land, that has jurisdiction over this. And in part, because of the words of the Alien Enemy Act, as interpreted by the U.S. Supreme Court after it was passed, the U.S. Supreme Court held the Alien Enemy Act precludes, meaning stops, doesn't allow, judicial review of the removal order. This is the Supreme Court deciding a case after World War II had ended. Such great war powers may be abused, no doubt, but that is a bad reason for having judges supervise their exercise, whatever the legal formulas within which such supervision would nominally be confined, the Supreme Court majority declared. Accordingly, we hold that full responsibility for the just exercise of this great power may validly be left where the Congress has constitutionally placed it, on the President of the United States. That's the law. Casey, not the Supreme Court, not the appellate court beneath it, and not Judge Boasberg.
See?
Not Judge Boasberg.
That pretty much covers it.
Boasberger. Yeah.
Wasn't she? Isn't she an attorney?
Yes.
What?
Megyn Kelly?
I thought I heard President Trump say something. Oh shit! I missed it. Restart that over there, Larry. I got 2 sound effects today
We got 2 sound effects.
before it crashed. Yeah, did you see that one window crash over there? You should have. Anyways, got to revamp the system.
The media is all over Trump's executive orders. It's really funny.
Well,
I love it.
They have
Because he's now signed more.
But it was
in his
okay
first
when
100
Biden was
days.
doing it. Or
They
when
have
Clinton
over
was doing it.
125 legal actions against him
Oh, I like
already,
how it
and
was
30
consecutive.
injunctions.
And it was just continuously, nope, we're going to record this. And he was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And everybody's going to see it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What they have to admit though is that this is funny. I'm reading an article right now. I just pulled it up. It says an executive. Well, it grants the power to issue, but it says since his inauguration, Trump has signed numerous executive orders to fulfill his campaign promises. Like they have to admit that it's because of his campaign promises.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's just doing what he said he was going to do. Why is that such a problem? Like, if anybody else did what they said they were going to do, maybe we wouldn't be here. But
Because Kamala Harris and Chuck Schumer and that whole libtard group, they campaigned against it. They wanted to have open borders, give billions of dollars away to foreign countries to leave aliens in our country. Leave the it was well, we all know it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare, and that's all stopped and has changed in a short period of time.
Their whole demonstration I've seen is basically just a snake eating the tail.
Yeah.
So that's all it's been.
Yeah.
And now it's being exposed. And
Yeah,
he's our king right now. And I hate to say that for some people that might think I'm going that direction, and I'm not. But as our president, he is finally standing up for what is justice.
Yeah.
Well, and on that point, the founding fathers did really recognize that the president was the king
Right.
for his term.
right.
They gave
And
him.
I knew that back then, but a lot of people today,
They don't get
they
that.
don't
Say
see
that.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't get that he.
Or if they don't understand.
Correct.
what a-
For all intents and purposes, he is the king.
Right.
But what is removed from him is technically the power of the purse, and he's limited to being elected,
Mhm.
and as a 4-year term.
Right.
So the only way to remove him from
But, I mean,
office,
what a-
aside from assassination, is impeachment.
But what a privilege, though.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that you're just through a bloodline.
Correct.
Right.
What he's did is accomplish something that no president has ever did in history.
Right.
And we have yet to see the outcome of what we're about to see.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is an explosion.
It's huge. It's huge.
So
Okay, so let's do this. Tisha,
Yeah.
you texted me about the 35th district of Michigan
I'm so pissed.
What is going on with this shit?
I don't know.
Absolutely fucking not. Sorry.
No,
Absolutely
it-
nothing.
Wait. No, it is exactly 9 o'clock.
Good.
That
We're
was
good to
not
go.
a
We're good to
pick.
go. It's Larry's fucking fault.
Listen, I don't know if he can capture the image that's on the computer right now.
What do you? Where is it at? I can. Where are you at? Is it plugged in?
Yeah.
Let's try it. There it is, right there.
I don't know if anybody can read it, but it's $200 million in potential spending allocated.
Okay.
15 plus bills and resolutions approved, and 0 vote from the 35th district. Why? Because nearly 80 days after the beginning of the year, the Senate has passed bills and allocated millions in funding, and yet in the 35th district, 270,000 Michiganders have no voice because we have no senator.
Would that vote have? Do you think it would have affected the outcomes?
It's
I'm not saying
that
that
it's kind of a funny situation, and that's why everybody's tap dancing around it.
Mhm.
So the problem is that when they redrew all the lines, they made sure that seat was going to be. Well, they thought they made sure that seat was going to be filled by a Democrat from now until the end of forever.
Okay.
However, what they didn't take into consideration was Trump's massive win, and it switched Bay County again, and it switched parts of Saginaw County that were previously Democrat, and so they're a little nervous. Midland's predominantly Republican, so the part of the 35th that's in Midland County, I mean, it is what it is, but 80 days later, and I still don't have a senator.
Right.
And I think we did this once before where it was called like taxation without representation or something.
Yeah, but they've been working towards that for a long time, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm just how do you deny 270,000 people,
Representation.
over 250,000 people in Michigan, don't have a senator?
Right. Dean, what you got?
Well, I was told by my teacher there's no stupid questions.
No,
but the
that's
only
true.
thing is that what I'm wondering is that if there's no senator in place, doesn't that go to the power back to the people of the county or the township?
Well,
that's the point. Is that
not.
Whitmer will not?
She won't do it.
Do a special election.
So
or appoint somebody.
I hope. There goes my ears again.
But
where do you have that stuff located?
Huh?
We need to start petitioning and
So
boycotting.
I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I sent you what the actual legislature
on
Act
Facebook
116 of 1954. That's how long this goes back.
It's on
And it
Facebook.
says, except as otherwise provided in this section, when a vacancy occurs in the office of senator or representative in the state legislature, the governor may call a special election in that senatorial or representative district, or direct that the vacancy be filled at the next general election. Listen, the next general election isn't for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So for 2 years, you're telling me I don't get a senator?
If they can get away with it and keep a Republican
It's
out of
just
there.
like, but the thing is that even under the new borders of the districts, the Republicans still lost. So why keep saying, oh, it's a problem within the party? You got off of my screen, right? So I can go to the other thing.
Yeah, go to the other thing. Did you send that to me on Facebook or no?
The thing about the legislature?
Yeah. You did. Okay.
But
I'm gonna
here's the
click on that.
thing. So I don't know if I can share this or not.
I can show this one
Do you have,
if I would click on the buttons properly.
I don't know if I can pull this off.
That was the one you just read, right? May?
Yeah.
With the May part in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under section 1.
Now, the
governor may call. So
are
so what happened and why people, there's already been a protest down in Lansing. Nothing.
Then this is a senator. How many
Democrat
senators
leaders.
do we have in the state of
There's
Michigan?
38 senators
38
in Michigan.
senators.
And you're talking about the power structure now being one less.
270,000 people not being represented.
270,000 people.
Mhm.
So what happened was the governor sent a bunch of people to Saginaw,
Mhm.
like basically right around the corner from where I live, and I didn't even know what was happening. But she sent up because it was supposed to be like a union thing and supposed to be for like just Democrats.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can pick this up.
What do we got?
There's a video.
Off that laptop?
Yeah,
We can do that.
this is what happened. This is the
I don't know if the
news footage.
audio
Oh,
is there. Is there?
is that better?
Mm,
I don't have yours, so I can't tell.
No, nothing's coming
I
to.
don't
Yeah,
think
it's
so,
on
but
the
we can
floor.
see it. Why don't you narrate it for us?
So basically, what happened is this lady came in. Let me get off my.
Well, we saw enough of it, right?
Well, no, what happened was is that Whitmer sent people
Mhm.
into the district for basically a town hall.
Okay.
Because so if you're not familiar with what happened, Kristen McDonald Rivet was our state senator in the 35th, and
Yep.
she got elected to Congress.
Okay.
So since January 1st, the 35th seat has been empty.
Okay.
And so
Let me see if I've got it.
Now, was she a Democrat or a Republican?
yes, she's a Democrat. So there's no reason for them to freak out about it.
Okay.
But what happened was,
Try
so
to.
this lady went.
Are you still playing it or no?
No,
Try and play it again. I'm gonna see if the audio works now.
let me see. You have volume?
I have volume. It should be going to you, Larry, in the.
Want me to pause it or go back?
Larry,
Yeah.
it's coming through channel table laptops. I think that's channel.
Because you have to hear
5?
what they say to her.
Channel 5?
Right.
What
Yeah.
they say to her
There's
Let me
is,
go- let me go over the
confrontation
table.
here going on.
yeah.
She's throwing her hands
Right here,
up
buddy.
and down like she's got to express
There's
this.
Well, yeah, because,
I see it. And
Like-
there's like 3 other people there trying to like.
but the answer they gave her is so disgusting
We've heard a lot of those,
that it, like,
That's 5.
Patrick.
All right. Try it again, Tisha, and see if that
We've
works.
heard a lot of those
Try the.
disgusting answers.
Mm,
But I want to hear this one now because I'm
So
just
now
right
we're
above
here.
it. I'm right in Bay County.
it's one of
well,
these.
part of Bay County is in the 35th.
Yeah,
I mean, not Bay
Right.
City, but
but yeah, Frankenlust Township, really.
Well, I'm not getting the audio. You might
Okay.
have to send it
let
to
me
me.
try a different one.
Send it.
'Cause that's
Well, I can see the
news
audio in the
footage.
one. I wasn't prepared for audio tonight.
That's the news footage.
Send it to Jeremy on Messenger, and he can.
This is. Let me see if I can
Yeah,
find
copy the
original.
link.
Basically, what happened is this lady gets up
Mm-hmm.
and
Confronts.
is seriously, and what they tell her is they're waiting for an answer from the Michigan Democrat Party
On
because the
on what?
Michigan Democrat, whether or not they should have an election for this person.
Okay.
But that was the answer from these Whitmer officials to this lady's objection to being without representation was, well, we're just waiting to see what the Michigan Democrat Party is going to do with it.
Really?
Like, I care
So
what the
that's
Michigan
supposed to
Democrat
happen
Party has to
anyways.
say about anything.
Right.
What I care about is you're sitting here spending money, taxpayer money,
Right.
Right.
without the taxpayers being able to call someone in Lansing and say, listen.
Yeah.
Now, the other day, I was okay with Amos O'Neill because our state representative,
It's called looting.
because he voted he voted with the Republicans on not giving illegals driver's licenses. So I was okay with him for about 30 seconds. And then when it comes to this matter, I'm not talking to her. You guys can have at it. Just shuts his mouth, shuts it down.
Wow.
Not even a word from our state representative now. So do we have any representation in Lansing?
Doesn't sound like it.
Not so sure. But we definitely don't have a senator.
Isn't there two, Larry, isn't there two, or were those local, like mayoral
Second
races?
Amendment.
There was 2 races that people left to run for other offices that
Yeah, I think they were
They
special elections last year. Yeah.
they left the House of Representatives to run for local mayors
Yes.
positions, and that they left them vacated, right?
Yeah, and then but the governor held special elections
Because there were Democrat
because
seats, and they were going to get
Democrat
them back.
seats, and they
I
got
don't know
it,
if you can. Basically, so the state representative for Bay City and the state representative for shoot, I can't think of where she's from now, but sat on the floor
Like a little girl.
of the representatives, like on the floor of the state House of
Oh,
Representatives.
not
And
sitting
did
on
a
the floor throwing
video.
a
I
fit.
thought she was throwing a
No.
tantrum.
Yeah.
They did a video about how the Senate's spending your money without having anybody there.
Right.
Like, and there was a protest rally, and they had several, and I mean several, representatives, senators, all kinds of people speak on why the 35th needs a senator.
And so what's
This
the solution? What's the holdup?
Funding. There. That's what. Can you see the new one?
Yeah,
The one I just posted.
Sorry, that's funny too.
Missing.
Basically, call the damn vote. Like, it's time to get past this. What the Democrat Party is going to do, and give us representation. Like,
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
it shouldn't be that
Has
complicated.
anybody lodged any lawsuits?
Not yet with the lawsuits, but so I thought this was hilarious. So Eric Nesbitt posted on the My Senate Republican page. He has an op-ed about how the governor should stop stalling, and call a special election. And the first line is, the vacant desk on the floor of the Michigan Senate is starting to collect dust.
Well, if that isn't a slap in the face.
So if you add on the time from when McDonald Rivet was elected back in November of last year, it's over 115 days since we knew that seat was going to be open.
Yeah, that's
She
kind of
won that election in November.
Right.
We knew then that there was going to be an open seat.
What were you saying, Larry?
Well, I was just going to say that's a hard decision. I mean, would I rather not be represented at all, or would I rather have a Democrat in office? And I would lean towards I'd rather not have a representative at all.
But they're not even giving the people a choice to vote on
They're not giving
it.
us any choice.
Right.
This is an agenda for destruction for pure Michigan.
I mean, what are the chances that a Democrat would win that seat?
On a Michigan right now. And it's going by one county to the next. I'm sure this is not the only senator that's going to be dropped, and there's going to be another one. I feel a progression.
So here's what
that's my opinion.
Here's what Nesbitt had to say in this. The governor has called for 10 special elections to fill open legislative seats over the last 6 years since she's been in office, taking around 17 days on average to fulfill her constitutional obligation. This kind of timeline would have been understandable given our governor's busy schedule. But now we're talking about 115 days.
115 days.
Not 17.
Well,
not 30.
I see why I did that.
Well, you should have that the Michigan flag like that.
Right. Larry's question a few minutes ago, or just a minute ago, was
would I rather be not represented than have a Democrat?
well, that's what he was saying is what's the chances that it would have gone Democrat?
I mean, so it's like I want to say it's like a 65-35 kind of split. But for a special election, we already know that there are certain people that don't necessarily go vote in a special election.
I don't.
And
You're right on
could
that.
have swung Republican in that kind of case.
So they're afraid of that since the seat did go
I'm a
Republican.
felon, so they told me I couldn't vote. And so I was like, all right, so I guess I don't matter in society, right? And then I finally get this idea where people are telling me that I can vote. But then by the time I seen some of the candidates, I said no.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes,
So I
sir.
stayed neutral is what I'm saying.
Just so you know, none of our shows will play on my phone on Rumble. I went to last week's show. It shows broken feed.
Interesting.
And if I just exited out and
Yeah.
now I'm at the main page on Rumble,
Yep.
clicking on podcasts and they won't play.
Yeah, Rumble is being hit on the player side because we're still up on Facebook,
Yeah.
running full. I haven't clicked on Twitch or Twitter to verify those, but the fact that we're playing over on Facebook Live through the Rumble, this is Rumble Studio that we're running through. So
Interesting.
we're running through Rumble Studio, but rumble.com to watch stuff is crashed. So I'll have to figure out a way to repost tomorrow once everything's back up. But yeah, look, I can read my words over here on the closed captioning of Facebook
Wow.
as almost as I'm saying them.
Right.
So can you put out a post on there, Larry?
Can we
Maybe a
do
Facebook
something
post?
unorthodox?
What's that?
We join hands and can we pray right now?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
that's not unorthodox on here. Just not always.
Come here. Lord Jesus, I ask right now that any kind of frequency that's trying to disturb this transmission to getting out to anybody and everybody that needs to hear this message, I pray that that frequency breaks and that this message gets out to the ones who need to hear it. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep pushing forward. It's not like we haven't had fun like that before.
I'm sorry, I had
Wow.
to rant about the
Yeah, no, you're
35th
good.
because it's, I mean,
That's very important. You're being deprived of no matter how messed up it is.
this is how Nesbitt ended his op-ed. It said, it's one thing to say all the right things. It's another thing to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
Government for the people and by the people, which you guys have heard me rant about several times,
Mm-hmm.
is the foundation of our American constitutional republic. There is no provision for state government for the people by the governor.
Say that last phrase again.
There's no provision for state government for the people by the governor.
Meaning,
Of the people and by the people, not of the people by the governor.
so she's really hindering.
My governor's
constitution-
an idiot.
Well, this is true.
Right. Which is
Very
why,
true.
I mean, at least return it back to the voters.
Right.
Like, one way or the other, return it back to the voters. And there's a lot of names that are getting tossed around about who would run for the special election.
Mm-hmm.
Half of them are garbage,
And
even on the Republican side. But you know what? At least it's an election.
Let's not slight the idea that they have shares in BlackRock and Vanguard.
We don't want to bring that up. But Dino and I on the last fishing trip posed in front of a sign outside of a bar that said the bar had it up on their sign, said my governor's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
We thought we were posing in front of Whitmer's, and then we realized we had slightly crossed over into the Wisconsin border, and they were talking about their governor. I'm like, well,
hilarious.
Michigan
Well,
and
there's this too.
Wisconsin, we share something in common.
Damn right. We had a good time.
But
I know where that place
Good
is.
stories.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Let's move on. We gotta take care.
No, my little rant.
No, you're good.
That was good stuff.
That was good stuff. Have you guys seen, I know everybody here at the table, but for those of you listening out there, have you seen the recent wave? Have you recognized the recent wave of people being swatted? And to the point that people don't always understand what swatting is. And I'll even tie it this way, is that
You don't have mine.
No, I'm going to switch here.
Sorry.
That swatting, even the term swatting, comes from this idea that when you have somebody call in a false police report of some type violence, what they're doing now, which is crazy, is they're even spoofing people's voices, acting like they are the people that live there, and saying, I've got my wife and children tied up and I'm going to kill them. And then the cops are dispatched. And what these people that call in these false reports are hoping for is that the people being swatted will do something stupid, causing them to be executed by the police if they don't comply
Have a
somehow.
happy finger is what you're saying.
Yeah. So one of the recent ones was Owen Schroyer. He was swatted, but this was shortly after one of the reporters at InfoWars. One of the reporters at InfoWars that was murdered outside of his home.
Okay.
And they don't know all the circumstances of what was happening with that situation of being taken out at his house. They're coming back and saying that it was just a carjacking gone wrong, but this is a guy that was on the Ukrainian execution list along with Elon and Biden or not Biden, or Elon and Trump, but there was a couple other guys I was thinking of that were more. There was a whole list that the Ukrainian government, said were subversive because they were speaking out against Ukraine. And this was a reporter for InfoWars. Well, one of the things they're doing when they send these people out to SWAT, or they call the police and put in these false police reports, and the people get swatted, meaning the SWAT team is called out and they're showing up their doors, then they immediately send pizzas from Papa John's with the name of Jamie White, who is the murdered reporter from InfoWars.
Yep.
They're saying, oh, Jamie White ordered you a pizza and sent it to you.
Well, the pizza is simply just a demonic mockery of what they've been doing with all of the trafficking.
Oh, absolutely.
So
we
already identify that.
I even got to the point where I thought about it here, even in our county, noting that we've got a really good sheriff,
Right.
that I might need to call the sheriff's department and say, hey, you get a call from somebody claiming to be me, saying that such and such is happening at my property, whatever the case may be. Here's my phone number.
That ain't it.
You need to call me first. Because if you show up on my doorstep,
You're talking Western style.
and I'm like, you show up on my doorstep and with guns
We're gonna have
blazing,
problems.
Fucking Wyatt Earp style.
I'm going to return fire.
well, but I don't want it to come to that.
Right.
And I want them to realize that you show up on my doorstep, I'm going to make some
Require-
recordings
Sure.
that will be released if anything happens to me,
Right.
showing that you did not do. Listen, you're gonna take all these precautions in how you take care of this person, how you take care of that person. We're gonna avoid these illegals and arrest them over here. We're gonna do this. And I'm not saying our sheriff necessarily does this, but I'm saying across the country, they're gonna pull over an illegal with no license, no nothing, and they let them go, or they catch them, release all this shit. But a law-abiding citizen that has no issues,
Right.
you're going to show up at his doorstep with guns blazing without a warrant. Oh, it's based on probable cause. Probable cause that you got from an anonymous telephone call
Right.
without further investigation before you show up. There already have been people of lesser media status that have been killed on their front porch.
Right.
Vetted, hired hitmen.
Yeah. The
Period.
MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's been swatted multiple times. They finally found one of the persons, and they were arrested and they're being brought up. But I mean, this is going on. This is part of their stuff. Going back to the judges trying to prevent Trump doing what he's doing. They're calling in these false police actions and showing up at conservatives' houses, and they're vandalizing. It cracks me up. These fucking idiots are vandalizing Teslas
On purpose.
on purpose.
Submerging them in water.
These are leftists that are going into Tesla dealerships and lighting them on fire. These are people that are supposed to be all about the environment, all about caring it. And because Elon is aligned with the current administration in trying to reduce the bullshit, wasteful things in our government, guess what?
Clinton and Obama, several of the previous presidents were all about wanting.
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And they had an article
Quit hitting your
of
microphone.
this
while you do
gal
that.
that
No, I'm hearing you.
this gal that they destroyed her Tesla, and she was a handicapped gal who was also a Democrat.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't go to my doctor's office or anything. She got a Tesla because it could pretty much drive itself and get her where she needed to go.
Right.
And now the car's destroyed.
There was a guy I watched. Somebody sent it to me. I don't know if it was you or somebody else sent it to me. It was a black guy. He comes out of the dentist office, and he had the Tesla truck, which I think the current version is hideous. But either way, he bought this Tesla truck. He likes it, and he comes out, and they graffitied it and did all sorts of shit to the outside of it, just painted it, scraped it, did everything to it. And he's like, I was in the dentist office, and he's like, what the hell is a black guy? He's like, what the hell is this, man? He's like, I like driving this around town. He's like,
Right.
I'm not for or against Elon. I could give two shits. I like the vehicle that I'm driving. What is your problem? What, Dino?
So I watched some on Bill Gates the other day where he was in an automated vehicle with a bunch of other guys, and they were in Britain or whatever, France, something like that. Really congested with traffic. And this thing was supposed to like
Navigate.
remote it and navigate itself.
Right.
And so Bill Gates, he's just off saying, wow, this is like the best experience I've ever had with an automated vehicle. You guys are so experienced in your technology with all this stuff. But at any rate, there's one thing I caught about what he said in this interview while he was in this automated vehicle.
Yeah.
He says, the human beings will never be able to wrap their head around what's going on.
The way he phrased it,
The way he
the
phrased
human
it,
beings. Yeah.
Right, the human beings. And I'm like, and so I went to more and more, and I started just digesting into it and just getting into it. And he does consider us just those human beings.
Yeah. Well, he's Kermit the demonic frog.
The frog.
Yeah, the demonic frog. Kermit. Now, if you listen to him talk, he's got that phraseology like he's
He
just come out of the swamp there.
Well, if we can just reduce the population by
Now,
10%.
If we get one of these numbers down to 0, that's kind of
and
high
just,
school
like,
algebra.
Eliminate everything in between.
Yeah. I'm not a eugenicist at all.
We don't know where we're going to start,
it's not
but
like
we have the idea.
We've got this idea that we can just jab them in the arm and then sit back and see what happens with all these kids.
In India, that was sick.
And,
With wellness
it's
checks.
not like everybody that's gotten polio got it from the shot
And that was
itself.
the reason they went there.
Yeah, it was a total reason. All right, look at this one.
Well, that looks like DW.
Terrorism. Yeah, terrorism on Tesla. Terrorism goes global. I have to be more and more behind Tesla vehicles, even though I do think the Tesla cars, like the higher end car, is a pretty looking car. It's a good looking car.
It's not bad. It's just,
The lower models, like the S model or whatever the hell it is, those they're the truck. I think the truck is hideous, but there's a new version of the truck coming out that looks badass. But either way, these accidents. This says spreads across the globe. This is in Greece, apparently. Greece. On Tuesday, the Greek City Times reported that the Tesla Model 3 in Thessaloniki, I don't know how that, Noki, had been scratched with a sharp object. I mean, it's scratched with a dull object. What's the fucking point? It must be scratched with a sharp object. Sharp object, the suspect wrote, "Idiot, don't be a Nazi," because clearly driving an electric car.
These cars do have a security system.
Let's see what
it
this
records
is.
everything that goes on around the car.
Well, that's
This is a lack of understanding of history.
Right.
And there is no understanding of exactly what that emblem actually represented before they adopted it into their own evil.
Right.
right. Well, and
So
they don't even.
it's
It's so stupid. They don't even recognize that the largest population of current Nazis, not neo-Nazis, stupid skinheads set up by the ADL and the Southern Poverty Law Center and the CIA here in America. The actual descendants of Nazis, the biggest population of actual descendants of Nazis that still practice Nazi National Socialism is Ukraine.
Well, it goes
They have
back to the Old
tattoos of the
Testament.
swastikas on their body.
Goes back to the Old Testament, but this is the perverted version of what we see today. But back then there was Nazis,
Right.
okay, and they did shave their heads, but it wasn't for a representation of evil. See, now what we see today is something that is totally anti, and what we understand anti-Christ.
I get
These movements is what I'm saying.
I get a little-
They're anti-Christ movements.
I get a little annoyed that they have these. The swastika itself has been.
They
It's a
perverted
symbol
it.
of peace that came out
Right.
of
Christianity.
Well, it's a pinwheel. It's the idea of,
Right.
of the sun. It's all this dynamic.
The
And,
motion of
it's,
togetherness.
you know,
warmth.
and what you have to take from that is that society or symbolism is what we make of it.
Well, if you realize in all witchcraft, it is all symbolism and spellbound.
Mhm.
And Christianity and Christians don't understand that.
No,
They go to church on Sunday for an hour
right.
and they say, all right,
I'm
I've
good to go."
delivered myself and I gave myself to God for an hour out of a week.
It's enough.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
No way.
you have to live it.
No way. You got to live it.
So the next one here is in Belgium. A Tesla parked in Antwerp
Yeah, it's-
was defaced with the words Nazi during overnight. These are useful fucking idiots who have no clue what
It's
is
like
actually going on.
Fight Club gone wrong.
Here's 4 Teslas that were set ablaze in Berlin by arsonists, because we know that Nazism did not originate there in Berlin, Germany. Wait, did it? Oh,
I don't remember.
Reichstag fires, the fake fires. Here's Spain, and look at this. Footage of a suspect apparently spray painting a Tesla in Barcelona was captured by the vehicle's camera system, which Patrick, you were speaking of on social media last week. And here's this. And what does he look like? A little skinny beta male loser.
Pretty much.
Not trying to,
That's what it
But,
looks like from here.
please share and help find this stupid guy. Yeah. So, vandalism in Spain. What else is the next one? Adios, Elon. Illegal Barcelona. What? I can't read fucking. What's it say?
Elon.
Huh?
F. Elon.
What is?
In that whole thing you were just trying to read, it says there's an
Well, why
inscription
wouldn't
of
somebody say that?
fuck Elon.
I don't know.
Oh, right there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fuck
Black spray
Elon.
paint.
We cannot speak any rest of English, but we say fuck Elon. There's a French communist anarchist
Anybody
group
else feel
called
this? I feel like you did a
Anti-Authoritarian.
Gilmore move.
Anti-Authoritarian Information Toulouse and Surroundings, whatever the fuck that means, claimed
Toulouse is a
responsibility for the
place.
attack. Here it is. As the elites are multiplying
Oh, they
Nazi
punched a whole building.
statues, we have decided to salute a Tesla dealership in our own way. The anarchist group claimed responsibility for torching a dealership near Toulouse, France. Well, you know what? Just keep letting the Muslims invade your country and raping your women,
Oh,
and see how that goes while you burn cars.
I just sent you a picture of somebody vandalizing a
Which creates unrest, by the way. You know.
Vandalizing
A
what,
Tesla.
Larry? A Tesla?
yeah,
Okay.
a Cybertruck.
Here?
Yeah.
Or is that the black guy?
No,
Okay, I'll click to that one. Let me see here. You guys are seeing behind the scene. Here it is. Oh, that is disgusting.
Jesus, what the hell?
Why
How to
not?
spot a liberal in their natural habitat. Here's one. I'm attacking your Tesla.
yes. I have to thank Mike Detmer for that meme.
That is disgusting.
What's that?
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm going back to
That
where I
even
was
makes
at.
me
Well, it's sad. That's what it is.
It's sad. It's pathetic. This one's in Sweden. At least 5 Tesla vehicles were set on fire in suspected arson attacks across the city of Gothenburg. Gothenburg. Gothenburg is Sweden, right?
Why are you
Gothenburg.
using
So
an
put a spin
Irish,
on it. What
Scottish
exactly?
accent
Gothenburg.
for Sweden?
Are we
I don't
looking
know.
toward the movement of
What the hell?
the society of Nazism that's going on with this? Are we looking at that this is hired shit?
It's hired shit, and Soros has been really good at getting his DAs
Thank you.
in there that don't
I was
want to arrest
waiting
anybody.
for the name. I didn't say it.
And
I
as
was
soon-
about to say it,
So the only
but I
reason
already
that this,
have
so
it.
this says police arrested a 35-year-old man suspected of arson last night. You know what? If they took him out and they cut his hands off and said, you're not going to fucking do this anymore, literally take him through trial,
Right.
convict him,
Right.
and go, you're convicted. You're a piece of shit. You destroyed somebody's property because of your ideology.
Okay.
There's your family was not harmed by this person. You were not attacked by this person. You were not ripped off. They didn't take millions of your dollars. You literally had an ideology that gave you somehow in your twisted fucking mind the justification to destroy their property.
Well, it brings
How about
true
we take
heat.
your hand?
See, this thing is it
Take
kicks
something
off and it
else,
brings
too,
true
yeah.
heat to the true Nazism that's underground
Right.
that pops off another mafia of explosion. Like, this is what
Yeah.
people don't understand about what goes on in society.
Right.
The mafia is still in Detroit.
Right.
They never went away.
And I
They
like
just got smart and decided to not be so, I don't know, popular.
Out with it.
well, and we've got to start. I love this. This was coined by Robert Barnes, lawyer Robert Barnes.
Yeah.
And they keep saying it, and I've adopted it and saying it. It's confession through projection.
There you go.
When you call me a Nazi, that's what you are.
Yep.
When you call me a racist, that's what you are. When you call me a bigot, homophobe, whatever it is, you're telling me what you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm not any of those things.
Right.
We say it on the show. We say
Well,
it in
it's a
private.
great reflection.
What we say the other day, we're like, you know what? If they catch a bunch of us Republicans, I don't even like to identify as people who believe in truth and liberty, and I said, you know what? They catch us on a hot mic. Guess what happens? We said the same fucking thing that we said when the mic wasn't hot.
Right.
You know, there was no
Exactly.
difference.
There's no
Maybe
difference.
maybe it had
No
a couple.
secrecy.
Maybe it had a few extra colorful metaphors, but the reality was, we said the same things that we would say whether the mic was on or not.
Right.
You know, in fact, segueing from this burning stuff to that, I put it in our notes here. Where's it at? Oh, they're talking about the hot mic thing. So I'm going to find it right here. There was a hot mic. Man, news comes fast because I had it right here up there, and now it's scrolled down. But we were asking about it. You guys were talking a little bit about it during dinner. So they were saying right there. There it is. Trump stands by Hegseth, and Trump stands by Waltz, not Tim Waltz, the other Waltz, the good Waltz. Hegseth as Dems gun for their jobs after signal was leaked. So apparently on a signal, congressional Democrats are trying to turn Jeffrey Goldberg signal chat revelations in the Atlantic into a major national scandal, and are gunning for the jobs of Trump's national security advisor Mike Waltz and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Hegseth told reporters within hours of the controversy was unleashed Monday. This was a National Security Council issued an initial statement saying the message thread appears to be authentic. Meanwhile, I want to jump down here. Goldberg, who says he was inadvertently added to the group, apparently by Waltz, described he was shocked to see war plans discussed in real time regarding Yemen operations. Well, I'll keep reading the next two paragraphs and then I'll pontificate and we can go around the table. But Hegseth has rejected the claim that highly sensitive and classified war plans were being discussed. You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, Hegseth said, which I would tend to, not knowing the reporter and knowing just that Hegseth is Trump appointee and now our national security, I would tend to agree with him. Because most of our old lamestream media is a bunch of bullshit pushers. Russia collusion? Anybody?
Yeah.
So Goldberg Goldberg later in an MSNBC, well, there you go, MSNBC interview, pushed back saying that precise details of the attack were shared with me on the signals chat. Oh, they were? He can say that it wasn't about a war plan, but that it was a minute-by-minute accounting of what was about to happen, organized by CENTCOM. Yeah, dude, if it's shared in a signal file that you got accidentally added to, pretty sure it wasn't war plan tactics coming from actual war commanders.
Right.
Because they have their own fucking frequencies that you're not allowed to go into. So guess what, buddy? You pulled it out of your ass and you made shit up.
So this is his headline from The Atlantic.
Okay, go ahead.
The Goldberg
I gotta switch over to you.
You can if you want to.
Yeah,
it's
go.
Funny. Can you read it?
Trump administration accidentally texted me. It's war plan.
Read that. Can
Really?
you read the thing
I can't.
underneath?
Go ahead.
U.S. national security leaders included me in a group chat about upcoming military strikes in Yemen. I didn't think it could be real. Then the bombs started falling.
What bombs?
Anybody heard of any freaking bombs in Yemen? And I think if we bombed Yemen, it would be a worldwide story. Like, screw our media.
Yeah.
It would be a worldwide story at that point.
Yeah.
If we bombed Yemen.
Right.
So what bombs is he referring to?
And
in the picture they used, like, who's looking at who? Like,
right. Well, and Trump.
Like Seth and Watt. What else in the back?
Trump has
Or
been
Vance
completely
and
consistent in this in the first administration and now in the second administration. If he's going to do any wartime actions, they're going to be extremely limited to the leaders of whoever needs to be removed, and he's going to vet the hell out of it before he takes action.
He already showed us the first demonstration when he was president.
Yeah.
First time.
And when he gets up there and he says that I want the war to end, I'm tired of people dying on both sides. I don't care.
Right.
Who is dying? They're dying. It needs to stop.
Right.
He has no. He doesn't care if it's Palestinians or Israelis. Stop the dying. He doesn't care if it's whatever it is. And he's like, we need to come to a peace accord. And as long as somebody on one side or the other is still shooting and throwing bombs, you're not going to stop the killing. This guy is for stopping the killing of people on both sides of a conflict. You can't have a guy that's getting pissed off about people dying, no matter what side of the aisle they're on.
I understand. But why aren't we talking about the fact that we already know if this peace treaty goes into effect?
Yeah.
That God already warned us that that's when you'll see calamity.
Well, to a certain extent. I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
There's been some. That's a big discussion.
It is. I'm sorry.
I don't think Ukraine wants
Well,
the war to
hey
end at
guys,
What?
there is an article here about U.S. bombs Yemen airport after Trump warns to annihilate Houthi aggression.
Houthi?
Is it Houthi?
Houthi.
H-O-U-T-H-I?
Yeah, Houthi.
Aggression?
Yep.
So we have been. I heard yesterday that we were bombing Yemen, but the Democrats are melting down right now over this.
Did you read why we bombed Yemen?
As far as I know, it's because of the terrorists.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's justified. It's not that we're just bombing people for no reason, but I mean the Democrats are outraged about this alleged leak that was sent out in a group text that accidentally included a reporter. But where were they when they found 1,800 boxes of documents in Joe Biden's garage? Where were they when there was 4 boxes next to Biden's Corvette? I mean, at what point does the level of hypocrisy? I mean, I don't know the level of what happened with this group text. I know I read that it was accidental, not on purpose. Joe Biden had 1,800 of boxes in his possession, including the 4 that were in his garage next to the Corvette, right? And within all of his properties, he had held them for many, many years, long before he was ever president. He had stolen them when he was in the Senate.
Well, yeah,
And so,
as a senator and a VP.
right. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses for Pete Hegseth making a mistake. But what about Hillary Clinton's illegal server?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, you can go back all day long and talk about this. I'm not trying to justify what happened with Hegseth, but I'm trying to point out is the fake outrage.
Yes.
They
100%.
the hypocrisy and
They're
the
going to
fake
blow up
outrage.
at anything that they can and make stuff up when they don't have anything to blow up at.
Right.
So
Right.
Before we used to have some kind of treaty agreements before things like these, shit used to happen. Now it's just fucking gone disarray.
Right.
Now it's just fucking, we're just going to do this because we don't have anybody to stop us. There's no ambassadors involved. There's no diplomacy.
Right. Tisha, what do you got over there?
Yikes.
So,
I can't see that screen until I pull it up.
oh, okay.
Hold on.
So it
to your
says
hats.
U.S. airstrikes targeting Yemen's Houthi rebels kill at least 2 people.
Okay.
2.
2.
But us warmongers here in the
Yeah.
U.S.
Well,
just
here's this from
we just want to kill everybody.
here's
too.
this from the extreme right wing of Infowars. Breaking exclusive. All evidence points towards Trump's war cabinet being framed by a CIA Vault 7 style operation in the leak of the Houthi war plans on Signal. Let's read this here. It's just a thing. I'll click on it to my own detriment.
Not one of the national security heads of the NSA, the Defense Department, the Office of National Intelligence, none of them in this group chat on Signal that the U.S. government orders them to use, that Biden ordered almost 4 years ago, that's still being used, that I've said they shouldn't use, has said that they included Jeffrey Goldberg, the Israeli, the editor of Atlantic, the Beyond Epstein connected publication I'll get into in a moment. So Trump just says, say it's a mistake. You didn't give the secrets to China like Milley did deliberately. This stuff happens. Move on. You've learned your lesson. And of course, there's a whole other fascinating area where you actually see a real administration working and debating, and J.D. Vance disagreeing, but saying, I'll follow orders. That's what I signed up to do. I mean, this is very refreshing, regardless what you think about fighting the Houthis in Iran. Well, I mean, they've been attacking our ships. So here's the big takeaway. Jeff Goldberg came to me 13, 14 years ago, and he said it was an interview for Atlantic, and he was the editor there. And I looked him up and knew he'd been, a deputy, warden, high-level jail guard at the famous Israeli torture center. And I knew he was probably a Mossad operative, but I said, you can interview me. Back then I did interviews. He said, I'm not here for an interview. I know I told you that. I'm here to find out who you work for. And now we know Obama, right around that time, opened up a national security investigation onto me. Gosh, I guess this is about 13 years ago. So Trump is saying, hey, just own it, even though you're saying you didn't do this. Waltz is, they're telling, take the blame. And I don't see it that way. I mean, I believe them. These people aren't liars. They understand that's how you get in trouble. And so if they're telling Waltz that he needs to take the blame, but he's saying, I didn't include Jeffrey Goldberg in this, then I believe that.
And that's... Sorry, I muted myself to cough. There's a couple different interesting things on this dynamic that he pointed out. They shouldn't be using Signal. the guy shouldn't have been included in Signal. And the one he's accusing of giving him access says, I didn't give him access. And this is from an administration that is doing absolutely everything they can to be as transparent as possible. And they're still trying to frame this. And so it's coming down to what it looks like is and I don't know this guy, this Jeffrey Goldberg, but if his ties to Mossad and running Israeli torture camps is anyway, dude, this is all a made up bullshit.
Yep.
In order to indict the administration. And they're going to do anything and everything they can to try to all distraction. It's all smoke and mirrors.
So according to Mike Waltz,
You have an article you want me to pull up?
well, you won't be able, it's in that article
Okay,
about
just read it.
killing 2 people. Of course I get knocked out. Hold on. It says the attacks have taken out key Houthi leadership, including their head missileer. That's something so far that's not been acknowledged by the Houthis, which they're not gonna acknowledge because
That
they
you
wanna
cut off
make-
the head of one of their snakes?
Right. So then it says we've hit their headquarters, we've hit communication nodes,
Mm-hmm.
weapons factories, and even some of their over-the-water drone production facilities. Now, if that's what we were taking out to limit Iran, I'm not mad about it.
Well, here's the and here's the thing. I'm for non-interventionism and all that stuff, and America first, 100%. But if Trump is initiating military action outside of our borders, I'm going to give him 80, 90% or more of not a pass, but above. But
So in his article, Goldberg said that he found out about it at 11:44 a.m. That's when he got the text.
Okay. And when was the action taking place?
The reason I knew this is that Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, had texted me the war plan. He named, in his article, he said it was Pete Hegseth himself that sent this guy the text at 11:44 a.m. And the plan included precise information about weapons, packages, targets, and timing. But he said the world found out shortly before 2 p.m.
So what's your?
I'm just saying, like,
He found out at 11.
first of all, Pete Hegseth
It
himself
was
didn't send this guy
3:44 when it
anything.
was first introduced, and then by when?
By 2, the world knew because bombs struck.
World
So
did not know because I
how-
know nothing about it.
How? I mean,
Wait. What were the time frames?
he got a text message at 11:44 in the
11:44
morning.
in the morning.
44.
And by 2 p.m. that same day
Yeah.
is when shit started flying.
So this is an article deflecting from the fact that it was a strategic strike against known legitimate threats that have been warned multiple times to not do what they're doing, and 2 people who purportedly have been who are the heads of this. Which again, what did Trump say back in the first term? He's like, we didn't go after and bomb the whole fucking country and kill a bunch of kids like Madeleine Albright, who was
Right, and
asked,
that's what-
do you think
I mean-
killing 500,000 children was a good price to pay to liberate
That's why
Iraq?
I brought up
Yeah,
that
I think
article
it's
that
good.
said that there's 2 killed.
Right.
I mean,
When Trump dropped bombs before,
it's
he
pretty
dropped
targeted.
he dropped a bomb to kill Soleimani and took him out. That guy.
Well, even, I mean, if what you're taking out is communication centers, weapons research facilities, actual bomb creation, whatever.
Right.
Okay.
And the only
so
thing
you knew 2 hours ahead of time.
and the only
Listen,
thing
by
that
that
the
time, shit was already in place. It was going to happen one way or the other.
and the only thing the leftist piece of shit news can report is you leaked it to me.
I, however, knew 2 hours before the first
And what
bombs
did you do with
exploded.
it? What did you do with it? That's
The
like
attack. He said that the attack might be coming. Listen, if we're gonna attack, we're gonna fucking go.
right.
Like, This
It's
is not a
projected.
mamby-pamby little. I mean, if you're gonna go, you're gonna go.
Yeah,
Like, it might happen.
it might happen. All right, shifting gears.
Sorry.
Larry, are you able to read your Midwestern over there to give your lightning round?
The Midwesterner.
You're gonna have to open up that browser over there, and I'll help you do that.
Yeah. Are we gonna take a break?
Do we have something to take a break with?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right, let me pull something up here. Do you need to take a break? Because you already left once. I watched you walk away from the desk, and I had to control buttons.
Yeah, I did.
I do.
You can do that. 'cause
Yeah, we need to
you're
take
in
it.
the scenes.
All right, let me pull something up here. Let me see what's on the Brown report. Oh, let's go back to the Teslas. Probably got about 3 minutes, given all the stuff on that. So let's do that.
Take a break. Take
Yeah.
a break.
Take a break.
Now that I'm
I wonder if any folks are going to come back here at night and firebomb this place.
And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes.
Your words have consequences. And what happened after she said that about Elon Musk? She's a Texan in her own home state. After she said that, this morning, 3 explosive devices were found in Austin, Texas.
We're here live on the scene at the Tesla dealership where earlier today an incendiary device, a homemade bomb, was discovered having been planted. And of course, this is typical or in line or as predicted by InfoWars.
I wonder if any folks are going to come back here at night and firebomb this place.
Crazy that we were here just a little over a week ago with Alex Jones, and he literally predicted to a guy blocking the road for us to even leave, a protester, that they were going to try to firebomb this place. And 8-9 days later, that's exactly what happened at the very location that we were at 9 days ago. I mean, Alex Jones was right.
Damaging a personal vehicle does not affect Elon. If anything, it's giving him more money to fix the vehicle that you damaged. Quite a lot of damage. He keyed this side as well, which, as you can see, this side, it even looks like it affected above the tire. This is a lot more damage.
This comes less than a week after a possible arson at a Tesla dealership in Kansas City.
So for this to be happening in Kansas, of all places, is super shocking.
Things spiraled out of control when a white SUV followed her and cut her off, stopping in the middle of the road.
Gets out and walks straight up to my window. So I cracked my window and I said, what is the problem? He goes, you need to sell your car. This is a Nazi car. You're driving it. You need to sell your car.
It's just that they're just told you're bad. They're told you're evil. And then they just see you and they just feel good and they're going to get in your face. And so now all these people, they're swatting people's families. They're swatting crew members' families here. They don't want to talk about it. Now the FBI is investigating. Now they're making arrests of people burning down the Tesla factories and charging them with federal crimes. So these people doing this need to understand you're going to get in trouble. You're going to go to jail. But they're so enraged. They're so angry. They're so brainwashed. And they think that they are the good guys.
Do I want to get Elon Musk out of politics? Yeah, the world's richest man, the most influential in history, is now calling the shots.
What has he done that really bothers you?
He's arrogant, drugged up, naive.
Welfare man, you're on your candid camera. You are. You got nothing better to do? You jealous? You jealous of the man? Is that it? Jealous loser. No, you're not. You're a communist, anti-American loser. You're jealous of success. That's what you are. Losers, communist, Marin County bums. Yes, you are. You're a loser. Why do you hate Musk? Why do you hate Musk? So what? You're a self-righteous moron. No, I won't be quiet. Who the hell do you think you are, you loser? You're going to go Kia Tesla now? Go Kia Tesla. Go ahead. Show what great people you are. Folks, you see the faces of losers? These self-righteous communists. They call themselves patriots. They are the poison of the earth.
You were recently on a Tesla takedown call calling for violence on the 29th. Would you like to clarify your comments?
As you can see.
Congressman, will you condone violence as a test?
Investigators say someone shot out his driver's side window with a BB gun as he drove through the town of Zebulon late Sunday night.
We have a family, we got kids, so who knows if that would have gone through and I was driving with my kids or, it would have hit my buddy or something.
Vandalism and threats against the electric car brand continue to rise throughout the country. Authorities cracking down on public backlash against Tesla CEO Elon Musk.
They have misjudged the American people. Yeah, they'll be able to intimidate 10, 20%. But the other 80% are pissed.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. InfoWars.com/.
Join our regularly scheduled program after these messages.
Okay.
Disney's 2025 live-action Snow White remake is a full-on assault on the innocent 1937 classic.
I know that you've told me before that your version of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. Super weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Rachel Zegler, a Colombian-Polish actress as Snow White, crushes the perceived racist skin as white as snow German fairy tale for a go woke, go broke, anti-white diversity occultic power trip. The prince and his hetero true love narrative is sidelined for the chronically mentally ill feminazi crowd.
She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
It's Disney once again with another $270 million diversity gamble after going in the red from the DEI Little Mermaid flop. 7 dwarves replaced by magical DEI hires, and then, due to massive backlash, restored with CGI.
Because you have Rachel Zegler, who's in Hamas, and Gal Gadot, who's in the IDF. They're stars of the movie, and they're on both sides of the Middle East. And the both sides of the Middle East are conflict. And there's no dwarves, because Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones opened his mouth and said, this is up having dwarves in the movie called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So now we got a lot of pro-Palestine, a lot of pro-Israel, and no dwarfs in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
You can't just murder hot chicks because you're an old hag. That is inappropriate.
New flag, yay. We're no strangers to evil plots by disgusting freaks. Welcome.
Zin is total BS. However, if you'd like to relax in a huge way,
Heavens to Betsy, young lady. Get in the house, warm yourself up, and let's draft up a plan to absolutely wreck your idiot stepmom.
Magic mirror, show me the biggest smoke show in all the land.
Hey, Nancy, you lose. Get over yourself.
But the one thing that remains that is amplified is the occult roots. Fast forward from the 1937 version to 2025, and Gal Gadot's Sorceress ramps up the CGI occultism as a centerpiece aimed at further perverting the original 1937 classic and, in the process, the minds of 2025's children. The original music from the 1937 classic Snow White are now American standards, while the 2025 music makes reference to the Communist Manifesto, where Snow White's parents ruled a kingdom for the free and fair, where the bounty of the land belonged to all who tended it. And oddly, there is no mention of Snow White's hairy back in either version, but that didn't stop Rachel Zegler from sharing hers. Would it be too much to ask these twisted satanic pedophiles running your brand into the dirt to read the writing on the wall and just take their ball and go home? Why is there softcore porn and inappropriate dialogue for children on the Disney Channel anyway? Well, because it's all part of the plan. You want diversity, Disney? Fine. Write another classic in the style of the Grimm brothers, if you are able. But leave your bread and butter and these iconic American classics alone. John Bound reporting for InfoWars.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next.
Now, listen, man. I'm going to tell you something. The way we get through this whole thing is to just surrender ourselves to whatever your government says that needs to be done. That's the way we're going to do it.
See,
and just like enjoy the Muppet Show.
I'm sorry, when you speak his voice, I see the fact that Putin didn't shake his hand. Dude, it's like
Shit like that. Hey, you know what?
Like, no, you are a traitor, bitch.
Remember when people were burning Obama in effigy or whatever, and people were all jacked up about it, right? But people, they put out an actual show. The Simpsons put out an actual show where they say something about his demise, and nobody's saying a word. No, why would they? Come on. Excuse me. Come on, why would they? Why would they? The Simpsons, come on. The Simpsons predict everything. Well, if they come out with a show like that, you're acting like they had the Twin Towers falling down in one of their episodes months before it happened. Well, Kim Clement though. Yeah. What was that? What? Because I said Kim Clement though, and you were like, yeah. Listen, the difference between a conspiracy theory or a prophetic word and the truth is about 3 months now, maybe less. It's a very thin line.
Well, I like that one prophecy did when he said, "I failed. The Lord has told me that what's going to happen."
Turn your pack on, Dino.
Oh, sorry.
We're not on. There you go. No. There you go. What was it? Can't hear anyone.
I said, one of the prophecies that he had spoke about, I was 2007 or something like that, but he said he spoke to the Lord and the Lord spoke back to him. He said, well, you know, there's a lot of things going with petroleum and the way they want to change the emissions and how they want to get rid of cars.
I remember that.
And he said, I had the vision that the letter was E.
I remember.
And now, here we are going into an electric society.
Oh, most people thought he meant ethanol. Elon. Oh, ethanol?
You can't make that shit up.
Because he said something about it. What if it?
I love Kim Clement.
What if it's not
an amazing man?
What if it's not ethanol, Elon, electric, but it's actually the ether? Mic drop.
Well, it all plays a part.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, Larry, I turned on my ears again, and I still don't have sound. You still don't have sound? Well, you know, since it fell on the floor. Well, there's that. But I turned it off and turned it back on. Are you hearing over here, Patrick? You got a wall pack.
Your batteries might be.
No, I have it. I have a green. Dino, are you hearing over there?
I thought
Are you hearing in your ears?
No.
Check.
You kept knocking on the floor every time you kept knocking on the floor for it.
Hold on.
Well, I got myself now.
Can you hear yourself, Dino?
Yes, sir.
Well, if Dino can hear himself, and he's on a.
I just didn't turn it up enough.
He's on a. I have a. I mean, it doesn't say low battery. But... Here, Tisha, swap your batteries and put it on.
Patrick, I can't wait to have this experience with you up north, man.
Hey, looking forward to it. Time. Yep. Go get in the cabin, though, man. I'm telling you.
No, that's okay.
Dina's not a cabin person. Dina's out in the middle of nowhere. We can. You know what? We'll talk to the cabin people. You can put a tent right outside the cabin.
Me and Vince like to watch a lot of those YouTube videos, how they make, outdoor structures, how to survive. So we actually talked about doing that out there in that area, But want to find a secluded place where we
I would
can do
love
it.
going way beyond where the berms are,
Right.
and going back further because we used to actually
we
camp.
want to put like a hut back there. We were talking about doing a hut. I think that'd be cool.
That's the headphones then.
That'll be our hunt shack.
Throw those headphones in the
We
dirt.
do like taking our weapons out there and
Shooting, yes.
Yeah.
There's some pictures of us.
So here we are in his truck. What's it called?
The Stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. We're in the Stormtrooper. Guns are loaded. We have no idea how many weapons we have on board because we got plenty of them.
That's right.
We're driving 90.
Everybody's
Everybody's got their sunglasses on. It's dark.
Chilling. I mean, you know.
It's dark. The moon must have been too bright.
And we recorded the whole thing. I don't know where
I have the recordings there in the computer. One of these days,
man.
I need somebody to edit them because there's so much stuff.
Bad stuff.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
Larry,
And we're back.
Larry, are you ready over there with your stuff, buddy?
Lightning round. Larry's lightning round.
Well, we got to turn your microphone on. Let's do that.
Damn.
No, you left it on during the break, so I had to turn it off. All right.
We were already on.
All right.
I thought we were too.
Is the tower up?
The tower is green. So if I bring the tower on, I'm getting a green.
Oh, okay. So there should be a browser tab in that. When you go into there, all that stuff where you find your little webcam, that's not it, buddy. No, that's break media. We want overlay. All right, you're on overlay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
There should be a tab in there that shows. Stop fucking pushing that. Push that button. Stop. This is
Okay.
Why don't I pull them up and you do it?
Yeah, there we go.
You managed to mute us at the table and close the thing. All right, so let's do this, Larry. I'm going to pull these up and try to follow you.
Yeah, but
as best as I can.
Have I got audio now?
You got audio, buddy.
All right.
All right, so let's do. I'll do my wall feed with this. There it is. So where do you want to go, Larry? I'll guide you. You can put your webcam on.
Yeah. Oh, I can put my webcam on now?
Yeah, put your webcam on, buddy.
All right.
You got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Not to turn your webcam on. You got 3 minutes now to talk about this is your lightning round.
Well, wait a minute. Something happened. It changed.
Oh, so we have a clearance to where I can go.
Are you on the?
It's all good.
Yeah, something moved, and I gotta find.
All right, just go with the articles.
All right, 2020 Dana Nessel, Gretchen Whitmer's executive orders good. 2025 Dana Nessel, Donald Trump's executive orders are bad.
Is that one of the Scissor Sisters? One of the carpet munchers there? Did I say that wrong?
No, you can't say.
Okay.
You can't say carpet munchers on the show, buddy.
Or what are those pliers with the cutting edge on them? They're dikes, I think.
Yeah,
With the side cutters now, because they can't say that now. My bad.
Yeah. There you go.
Probably beans.
No. I'm the only one on with Larry, so for some reason I turned it off and I turned it muted and it's still.
But,
all right.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is taking her attacks against President Donald Trump on tour, launching the first of what is expected to be many town halls in the Grand Rapids on Saturday. In the United States, we have three branches of government, and I don't know if Congress knows it, but they are one of them. Oh, geez. Do you think they know it?
Don't think they know it, Larry.
Yeah, I don't know, about people like Dana Nasty here.
Nasty Nessel?
Yeah, that violate people's constitutional rights just based on their political.
This is a sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next article, Larry. What do you want?
The next article that we'll go to here is, Gretchen Whitmer administration lets GM keep $120 million in corporate welfare after company backs out of promised jobs.
High five in the big black guy.
Yeah,
She like that.
Yeah, there you go. So General Motors is no longer responsible for its promise to create 1,360 jobs at a Lansing battery plant it developed with LG Energy Solutions.
More battery.
So why would you expect, GM to honor a deal, to give it lots of
So because the people
welfare?
push back probably and they can't do batteries, then they could just keep the money.
Those batteries are too big to fill too.
Well, they probably got infrastructure that they put in place.
Yep.
They probably made commitments.
Are they going to give them to Tesla? That's all I want to know.
Yep, and the next one
Tesla uses better batteries.
Whitmer's MPSC approves $153.8 million rate hike for consumers' energy customers.
Right, because we don't already pay a lot in consumers' energy.
Yeah, might as well just hike the prices up because
Don't get me started on
everybody's
choice.
getting such a good deal with with the prices are so low everywhere.
Because we can choose who our carrier is.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I got problems with
She's
that.
like an ugly bitch.
She's an ugly bitch.
It's me.
Next one, Larry. What do you got?
Oh, let's see. Well, it looks like our governor, Wretched Gretchen, is off to the UK, Ireland for springtime investment.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? That's where she needs to be.
I mean, don't call an election or anything, but by all means, go to Ireland and the UK. And
We say it's Ireland.
Go.
She's gonna go to Ireland for a springtime investment mission.
Oh, geez. And this is Whitmer's Michigan study concludes highways in worse shape than most states. And here Whitmer is on a Caterpillar AP 1055 asphalt paver.
Well, that would make sense why they're in such bad shape when you got a woman driving it. No offense, Tisha.
There's lots of competent
never
women
tried
that
an
can run an
asphalt
asphalt paver, and she's not one of them.
Larry, what do you do for a living in the
Wait a
summertime?
minute.
Oh, asphalt.
Oh, so you would know a little bit about not letting the governor of the state who's driven us into the ground drive us down a road putting asphalt in.
Right. Well,
Hold on. What union does she belong to?
Yeah, she doesn't.
Confused.
The 1055.
I'm so confused.
Asphalt.
I thought you had to be a.
Can I tell a story?
Of course you can tell.
I really do.
Larry, you're good with your
situation.
Yeah, everybody
lightning round?
can go to the Midwesterner.news and get
There it
the
is.
information that we've been sharing with them tonight.
The Midwesterner.
The
There it is.
Midwesterner, yeah.
Dino, you got a story you want to
Yeah,
share?
I do. So I've always had to live up to this expectation with my uncles because they were crane operators coming off a farm. And they had this perspective on us as, nephews that we needed to come up as union workers. So as heavy operators, they didn't have to go through all the schooling that we have to do today.
It's a Michigan thing.
Dude, it's murder. Like going through everything and then having to pass all these tests and shit. And the way that they walked in, they just walked in because they knew how to do farm machinery. So I decided to join the Union of Carpentry. I'm not going to give the union's number. But I was in class here just about a year ago. And the instructor came to me and he goes, well, you guys are going to be assigned $2,500, for a Pell Grant that's coming through the union. That's signed by Gretchen Whitmer.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll allot you guys $1,000 for expenses on tools and boots and whatever uniforms. But we're going to take the other $1,500. Don't ask any questions.
For class.
Just sign on the dotted line and hand it over. I went to my instructor and I said, you know what? You're a snake. I said, I'm not going to be a part of a union that lies to his students. And I handed my books over and I walked away.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back to my boss. Amen. That's the Lord.
I appreciate that, buddy. It's the first time I heard that.
Boy.
We're talking about Michigan stuff. I sent you something else on Michigan.
I saw it, but I saw you sent me something, but I didn't see what it does that to me a lot of times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Click to see the post and then look.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll snapshot it and send it to you.
Yeah.
What was it? In case you're wondering, if the gubernatorial election were held today, Garland Gilchrist leads Dana Nessel.
And you know what they wanted that other 1,500 for?
Because we want the first black governor.
To push out their retirees.
Oh, right.
They wanted to put it back into the bowl.
I would like to share this nice, tasty meme right here before Patrick resends me that stuff right here.
Oh, this pisses me off.
I would like to share this one right here. Oh, no one elected Elon. Yeah, well, no one elected Anthony Fauci, Hunter Biden, George Soros, Bill Gates. No one elected Kamala Harris as Democratic candidate for president. So I think what their finger is, what is that symbol for? Is that go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Like fuck you?
I'm pretty sure that's hit the high road.
Yeah. So there's
rocks.
That is the most ridiculous argument for this whole thing.
Because Elon is directly reporting to Trump, and they're being so transparent about everything they're finding.
Who elected the defense secretary? Who elected? You can go down the list in the cabinet. They're not elected.
Correct.
None of them.
How about this? Who elected Nancy Pelosi? Because nobody likes that bitch.
No, they've been mandated by a handshake. That's what they've been.
Yeah.
I'll explain
Because
this here.
California elections are
so good. All right, so Patrick's thing is I was able to get it. We got this. Patrick, what do you got here? Show us what you got.
State of Michigan, in their infinite wisdom, back when they did lockdowns and everything, they decided they needed to lock down outhouses. So they locked down the outhouses, but to accommodate people for that, they put a porta potty out in front of it. Now, doesn't that make a whole hell of a lot of freaking sense? Let's spend the money.
It makes sense to me. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Let's not spread germs in a facility with possibly running water. We gotta have something else.
No,
that makes total sense to me.
In a sense, it does to me is it shows the manipulation of just pulling more taxpayers' money out of having to produce more bullshit like this to throw in your face. That's all it does.
I love Dave Bondi. In case you're wondering.
Listen, but listen, guys.
I heard him speak a couple weeks ago.
But come on, so if you go into the existing facilities and they're dirty and nasty, but you can't, you just better go and import John that's got the dispenser for the antibacterial stuff, and it's better than going into the wooden spot because that's not. But that's
how dare you?
It's like the Eastern Asian guy that sat there and looked at the guy that was a girl, but now he's something happened there, and
so I agree
he's
with.
Like, so does that mean that I was a horse, but now I'm a chicken?
So I'm just saying that Porta John's out in front of the regular John's is very smart, like keying Teslas to protest Elon.
Amen.
Just saying there. I was trying to find the article over here on InfoWars that President Trump has signed executive orders to, there it is. Well, Ron Paul's talking about shut down the Department of Education, but President Trump, there was a meme on here. Let's see where, what was it? It was one of you guys sent it to me on Facebook. It was Ronald Reagan talking.
I sent that.
You sent that to me, Patrick. I got to scroll up and find this one. So there it is. We're going to play this one.
What the fuck?
Why is it not playing? Fuck face. Why don't I have audio?
You have X'd out up there. You got to hit that.
Oh, it's all. See, they changed this shit.
Make a case that the decline in the quality of public education began.
No, I'm going to refresh it, fucker.
There you go.
Dissolve the $10 billion National Department of Education created by President Carter and turn schools back to the local school districts where we built the greatest public school system the world has ever seen. I think I can make a case that the decline in the quality of public education began when federal aid became federal interference.
Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
I would like to dissolve the $10 billion.
So that was Trump signing the executive order to dissolve the Department of Education. I like that very much because you know where most of the problems have ever come from, or pretty much all the problems have come from? Federal government.
Yeah. And time you get the feds involved with it, it goes to shit.
I'm not so sure that the local schools are in better shape right now.
But here's the thing.
But
you leave
see them taking down their colorful flags off the walls.
And here's the thing. The minute you get rid of the federal government and federal government's involvement in local schooling, now you further empower parents, because we're fighting over there in Heartland.
Yeah.
Right now, Larry knows this very well. We're fighting over there in Heartland, and they disregard the parents constantly because they get federal money.
Yeah.
Oof.
The minute their money is tied to their local only, and they're not beholden to a federal government that can bail them out or float them, the dynamics are going to change real quick.
Right.
Yeah. I think
because so many schools, and I don't know, like I covered school boards for 5 years as a reporter.
Mm-hmm.
They 1000% believe that as long as your student is in their building, they
own them.
Are the student's guardian.
Right.
That is the exact words that they used.
Oh, it takes a village.
We are their guardian for as long as they're in our schools.
Yeah.
And that's total horseshit.
It is total horseshit.
Sorry.
You're tasked with the responsibility of teaching my kid reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Right.
And
not asking them whether they're a male or female.
Correct.
Or a cat or a dog or a rabbit.
Correct. And that's the bullshit that we're dealing with. And the minute, and Reagan's the one right there saying it, right? Reagan's saying, what did Reagan famously say? He said the 10 most dangerous, or the
9 most dangerous words are I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Yeah. Dino, what do you got?
We're talking about school, but we're not in
Yeah,
school.
we are talking about school, and I do want to talk about this because I thought that I could find the appropriateness in finding my daughter into even a religious school. Into going into a Lutheran school. I will put you out there. But at any rate, I found the worst experience because there's something about it, and I'm sorry, but I got to say this. In the Bible, it really states that if you really have a problem with a neighbor, if you have a problem with somebody, or you see something wrong, you go to that person.
One-on-one. Yep.
They used the state. The state came at me with CPS over something they could have figured the conflict out in between us. They just didn't know the story in between. But we did. We just tried to keep it quiet. But it's all good because it's through the courts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, to show you how incompetent it is, look at what Biden was doing with his executive orders, trying to punish schools that wouldn't allow boys into the girls' bathrooms, boys into the girls' locker rooms, boys into girls' showers, or boys into girls' sports. And, that illustrates the dangers that children face at the hands of these, shall we say, to be polite, insane liberals.
Insane liberals.
Yeah.
What's another name for insane liberal? Groomer?
Yeah, you can say groomer.
Oh,
yeah, groomer is a correct.
That's actually
is a correct term.
That's very great.
Groomers.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a matter of politics. This isn't political. This is basic right and wrong.
This is against morals.
Yes. I mean, and like the craziness of the books you find in the libraries, there's books that are being passed around on Facebook. There was one, In My Daddy's Tummy.
Mm-hmm.
Is a book, or In My Daddy's Belly is a book. There's another one. Are those kids aren't yours, or your kids aren't yours?
Yeah,
these are titles of books that crazy people are writing and exposing children to.
And then they go to city councils and tell you, "How dare you ban books? You're just a book banners."
Yes,
which is not the place to go anyway. In case you're wondering, don't go to your city council. Go to your library.
I agree with you, but there was somebody recently at a commissioners meeting that got up and county commissioners meeting,
that's
and
different.
they said, and these are the type of people behind me that are doing this and doing that would ban books in schools. And I go, what books? Like the one where Tommy gets invited by his neighbor into his back shed to then perform fellatio on him. Is that what it is?
Right.
I have a meme for everybody.
Jimmy went into the back shed.
Yeah.
You know, like,
it's all good. Just jump in my van.
I told him to get on his
Gender
knees.
queer. Gender queer is one of them. Let's go ahead and look at this one and read it real quick. If a dog can be put to sleep for hurting a child, so should a pedophile.
What do you think about that?
I think that's,
I like that.
I think that if you, I ascribe to that Christian, it's a new covenant.
Yeah.
Jesus covenant.
Right.
That it would be better if a man have a millstone tied around his neck than to harm one of these little ones.
Correct.
So I kind of fall along that line of, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get the millstone and throw it in the sea with with a little rope.
Drop me in the water.
I'm thinking, you know what? If a dog can be put to sleep for hurting a child, so should a pedophile.
Rocks?
No, I'm throwing a millstone into the ocean.
That's not what I'm asking.
With a real short rope.
Are you throwing rocks? Or do we give this guy...
We're not casting stone.
I don't know. Do you give that guy 3 days? Give him 3 days. How about that?
I can give him 3 days.
3 days to what?
But
give him 3 days.
Here's the thing. In a society, if
He's
you...
pressured under death. What would he do?
Well, this pedophile?
As a pedophile.
Yeah.
Pressured under 3 days. What would he do?
I don't know.
Well, you gave him already the orchestration about what you were going to do.
Yeah. If
So
you're fully convicted in a court of law appropriately with an honest judge and jury,
3-day extreme. If you don't change,
I mean, cruel and unusual punishment, maybe, but
here's the reality.
God tells me to forgive 7 times over that.
Correct.
Many more times.
There's God's
So,
there's an amount of forgiveness, but there's
and I
also
know
justice.
That's the worst thing we want to fucking do.
Well, but there's
you have it already.
there's a difference. There's a big difference between forgiving somebody personally who has offended you.
Yeah.
Right.
According to Jesus, the context that Jesus says.
I say what you say is that I think that Snoop Dogg, maybe possibly that. Yeah, P. Diddy and all those. Yeah, them right there.
Right
there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
and
I'm
because
so
they
offended
already
right now.
know.
Are you offended, Larry?
I'm offended right now.
Are you triggered?
Are you
I'm
triggered?
Yes.
Well, you know what?
I'm going to grit my
This
teeth.
is not a safe space.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you.
You triggered Larry.
Something along the same lines. I've just sent you a thing there about schools and what's going on.
Okay, I'm just gonna double check over here with our show.
Back on.
Well, while you're looking at that, I just looked at Dave Bundy because
Yeah, we're still on
sent you
over.
that thing. Dave Bundy posted yesterday, the White House event on March 24th. Elon Musk highlighted findings from the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, basically stating that $312 million in Small Business Association loans were granted to children 11 years or younger.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you sent me another one, Patrick. I'm not seeing it.
Collaboration.
Oh, there
exactly.
it is. Is it another one of these?
That one right there.
And the Small Business Association has confirmed that figure, just so we're clear.
Oh, what's this? All right, let's check this out.
A gal in a school in the Detroit metro area that I guess she got the shit beat out of her by another student who wasn't exactly a student. The backstory I heard on it was that this was a student from a family of legal immigrants that had been bounced from school to school to school because she couldn't get along with anyone anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And this poor gal, who is a good student, got her ass kicked and her teeth broken out and what have you. And the school won't do anything about it.
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days suspended. The school won't do anything about it.
Of course not.
They won't even talk to her mother. I guess they.
No, because this is the problem. Because federal funding, they don't give two shits about the safety of their kids. They don't give two shits about what's going on in the school. As long as that kid is in their seat on the day that they count the seats, they get their federal money.
Right.
This incident will not affect their money because that kid was there on count day. When we start affecting the cash flow coming in, and it directly affects the salaries of shithead superintendents and administrators, then they'll start fucking caring about our kids. And they won't act like they own our kids. They will understand that they're a custodian and have a higher responsibility to protect and teach our children versus acting like they own our children. That's the shit that needs to go on. And furthermore, I think we need to push not only to abolish the IRS, what I think Trump is doing. We need to abolish property tax and give people back full ownership of their properties, and then come to the people through lawful government and offer and lay out a whole plan. You want trash service? If that's, you live in a city, that's a lot of times there, or you want this service or that service that was normally provided, fire or police or stuff like that. Here's an agreement that you contract with the city. Now the city knows, now the county knows who is contracted with them for these services. If you're contracted with them for those services, then it's like paying insurance, right?
Intermediate connections.
Correct. If you don't contract with them, then whatever the bill is when you call them, that's the bill you're going to have to pay. Yeah. You understand that I did not contract with you to provide this service. Therefore, I may have extra expenses for services rendered. Understood. Right. And in the line of the schools, you abolish property because they say property tax, it goes for our schools, it goes for our schools. Okay, guess what? Get rid of property tax and then make every school a charter school of choice and let the parents actually pay a tuition.
Which is illegal in Michigan.
It needs to be made legal. Well, they're going to have to figure something out because of this. But here's the thing. If the parents are paying directly out of their pocket instead of a property tax for their children's education, and their kid comes home with a backpack full of books when they spent 8 hours with the school, and they got a whole bunch of homework, and you go, wait a minute. What did my kid do for 8 hours if you got to send homework?
Right. That much homework. That's asinine.
No, I'm going to hang out with my kid. We're going to go do some fishing. We're going to do some hanging out. Right. We're going to go play in a park. We're going to do this. Not coming home to do more work that you should have taught them when they were sitting in school.
Yeah.
What were we going to say, Dino?
I was going to say just exactly what you just ripped out of my mouth without me doing. That's why I was expressing.
Okay.
Jeez.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is
there's a lot of other things though that they throw on property taxes. I'm just over the line into Genesee County from Livingston County, and I pay for the list of shit that's on my taxes. My property taxes is ridiculous. It's all shit in Flint. People in Flint vote this stuff in, knowing that we will pay for it.
Right.
They voted in this thing called senior. It was a senior. There was one for senior, one for veterans.
Okay.
Senior services. So I called them and said, what's senior services? They said, well, if you're over the age of 65 and we have a major snowstorm over 4 inches, we'll come clean your driveway. And if you live by yourself and there's nobody else there that can clean your driveway. And I said, well, I'm 67 years old and I live by myself and I got a bad back. I can't clean my driveway. So great, sign me up. At the end of the year, I called them up and said, hey, we had a few snowstorms. Never saw you guys. What's up with that? Oh, we don't provide that for your community yet. It's only for Flint. I said, but it's on my taxes. I'm paying for it for people in Flint. Well, that's the way it is. And the list goes, I pay for the airport. I pay for my community college. I pay for, I pay for mass transit. The list goes on and on and on. The shit that I pay for.
Yeah.
They're going to take.
This is why school millage elections are.
It's time for people to hear just that little in between what you just said. Yeah. We all need to come together.
Right.
And say, it's time that we stop getting slapped in the face with a shovel.
Yeah. Well, and I've said it along with lines with you, Patrick, is one of the things they did was very sneaky is they hide a lot of your property taxes in your mortgage.
Right.
They can now. Yeah.
They can.
They've been doing it for since the long time that I've known them.
Since I've been born.
I've seen it.
It's actually a good thing because then you'd know what your property taxes are and you probably go
really
insane.
are.
Correct. Well, and I was going to point this out that if everybody knew what their actual income tax was, if they didn't have income tax removed and then at the end of the year they had to write a check for the government and then you go for fucking what? It would have been abolished a long time ago, but because they withdraw it before you ever get your check, people just have gone along with it.
You mean like out of sight, out of mind?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
and that's what the power of what Trump administration with Elon specifically and a whole bunch of 20-somethings are running around doing is exposing all of the waste in government. It's been wasteful for fucking decades.
Yeah.
But now
Longer
you've
than
got
decades.
but now you've got somebody in there that's actually exposing it. And people on one side who've been benefiting from it are up in arms. You have to ask every fucking person on the side of going against Elon, what are you getting paid? That's the only question. What do you? Every one of you that says Doge is bad and going against or discovering all of this this money going all over the place. Everyone that stands up and defends that, what are you fucking getting handed out?
You said it earlier, like
Because
an hour ago, bro.
Because you people,
What you say to me is what you are.
they're like, how dare you expose this fraud? How dare you? It's like, well, what are you getting from it? We know you're getting a handout. How do you go to Congress and make a $250,000 or whatever the salary is in the U.S. Congress and become a multi-millionaire?
Yeah, and people need to realize something too. While we're on this subject, I want to talk about Elon Musk and the Democrats and their false premises when it comes to Elon Musk, talking about how Elon Musk is cutting this and Elon Musk is cutting that, right? Elon Musk isn't cutting jack squat.
Right.
What he's doing is he's looking through everything and he's finding wasteful spending and he's giving it to Donald Trump for Donald Trump to make the decision.
Correct.
So everything, 100% of everything that's being cut, it's not being cut by Elon Musk. These are merely suggestions that are given to Donald Trump by Elon Musk, and Donald Trump pulls the trigger, or he doesn't.
Correct.
If Elon Musk has absolutely no power in this country other than to submit ideas or suggestions to the president of the United States.
100%.
And the president of the United States makes the decision. He makes the final call.
If I'm on a job site and I go, Dino, I need to know how many 2x6s we got left over there in the pile.
Right.
And you go count them up and you go, boss, we got 46 2x6s left. Okay. All right. We're going to need 55 to get this done. So I'm going to have to order another 12 or something, or another 9 to make sure we got enough.
Yes, sir.
How does any of that responsibility or dynamic have anything to do with you?
Only if he miscounted it.
Nothing.
Only if he miscounted it and he didn't.
Right.
I'm going, okay.
You gave me a detail. You gave me a directive.
I gave you a directive and a detail. You came back to me with verifiable information and we got it done.
Right.
Elon is standing next to Trump while Trump's sitting at the Resolute desk. And every time Donald's going, and what else did you find, Elon? What else? Tell him the other thing you told me that you found. The other thing that you found. And it would be something if Elon wasn't publishing this. But every time they find something, they're releasing the findings immediately.
Sorry, I got to flash this out. What? He just got put on the spot in an interview just last week. Like right off the street, literally. Just pulled right into a fucking interview.
You still have it.
And he goes in there and they're drilling him questions about, so what are the findings? And what is this? What is that? What are you doing? Why are you even here? What are you doing? Like, is the power going to you and the presidency? Like, people have questions, and he's like sitting there and he's like, I'm sorry, am I here for an interview or are you just here to mock me?
Right. Exactly.
You know, like, it's like, dude, you literally, like, do you want evidence and truth?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to sear the shit out of this and give you lies? No, I'm going to give you truth. All right, let's go into it then. Fine. Well, I found it over here, and he started talking about this, that, by columns.
Yeah.
He totally
shredded it.
Pushed that interviewer down.
Yeah.
And walked out.
Well, isn't it? It's along.
I'm just saying.
No, you're exactly right, and it's along the same lines as these assholes that got up here during all of Trump's confirmation hearings for all of his secretaries, his cabinet appointees or cabinet nominees, and they go, "My time is short, so I have to get up here and grandstand and say a whole bunch of stuff instead of asking you a legitimate question and letting you answer it. My time is short. My time is short. You tried to answer, and it would have destroyed whatever bullshit that I'm pushing, but I have to keep going. Right. We watched case after time, the Democrats just fucking browbeating people, pontificating from, just giving a speech and not letting the actual person sitting there answer. I need a yes or no answer. Yeah. It's not a yes or no answer.
Question. It was horrible.
When did you stop beating your wife? I've never beat. It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no.
All right.
I never beat my wife. It's a yes or no.
Or it's just.
When did you stop beating her?
I can't talk about that right now.
Those are the fucking questions, and I loved when RFK.
Sorry, I can't release that right now. I don't have the information.
I loved it when RFK went after fucking.
What the hell is that?
Douchebag.
No brief or nothing.
Yeah, that fucking face.
Dude.
That guy.
Sure. Yeah, what was his name?
The little communist hand rag. Fucking.
Fauci, the other one.
Schumer doing.
No, he's Mr. No. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do it. We're not going to go down there. He's like, I only got small donations. Nobody from the corporate ever donated from Big Pharma to Sanders. Yeah, that fucking guy.
Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders, yeah. Immediately, when RFK Jr. fucking, he went back, he goes, Bernie, you're one of the biggest fucking recipients here of pharma money. And he goes, no, we're not doing that. They were all small donations. You go back and do his filings for his campaigns, and it was millions from Big Pharma CEOs.
When I toured the Capitol, well, my wife took me to D.C. for my 60th birthday. We were standing in the hallway, and the only senator that went by, the only one that came down the hallway was Senator Bernie Sanders. And my wife grabbed me. I had my back to him. I didn't see him. I was talking to my wife. She reached up, grabbed my shoulder, and pulled me and turned me towards him. And she whispered in my ear, "Be nice. That's Bernie Sanders." And I looked at her and I said, "You smell that?" And she said, "What?" I said, "I smell sulfur and Bengay."
Probably.
His farts and
it's probably his breath and his skin.
Yeah, within 2 feet of me. I mean, Bernie Sanders walked within 2 feet of me, and it's like I wanted to puke.
I don't have it pulled up, but I'd love to play that clip of when Obama was talking about it. He's like, "There's a guy on the radio says that Hillary and I smell like sulfur." Isn't that a thing? Yeah, you do smell like sulfur because you smell like death. You've crawled out of the pits of hell.
Yes, and by the way, Big Mike did announce today that not only is she not going to run for president in 2028, that she is never going to run for president.
Oh, yeah. And her podcast is a pile of shit.
She has a podcast?
She said
she did. They spent a couple $1 million on setting up her podcast, and it got slightly over the same amount of views that we get.
She said that I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She said that she wants to be a mom. She wants to invest her time into her children. That politics is something that sucks your entire the air out of your family, and she doesn't want to deal with it anymore. I'm ad-libbing, but
I mean, I love the details.
Wait.
Well, one Obama was enough.
Wait. Big Mike wants to dedicate themselves to being a good mom.
Okay,
yeah. And rumor has it that both of the children in question, are lobbying to have their names changed because they're not biologically actually connected to Big Mike or.
I heard Big Mike.
Barry Soetoro.
I heard Big Mike wanted to be a better mom, so she's hiding her jockstrap so her kids can't find it.
Good God, Patrick. Pull it out already, man.
Now I'm looking at him across the table.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What's that one?
McAllen.
Man.
I ain't got
That's
one
shot.
Stuff. Can I get just one shot?
Not with give him some of the red breast.
Okay.
Wait, where's our shot glasses?
We don't.
I mean, I just want, and then just a quarter, just a small
Yeah, we got to grab a
dime
Scully
spot.
over there.
I'll get you a Scully.
Full dime
I'll take a
spot.
Scully too, Patrick.
So I do want to talk about some local stuff if I can.
You got 25 seconds.
All right, I'd like to talk about Mike Murphy.
Mike Murphy
announced he is running for Senate for Lana Tice's seat.
Okay.
So he will be stepping down as sheriff.
Is that a special election?
And he will be running. No, she'll be.
No, it's a 2-year.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, she'll be termed out. So Mike Murphy will be running for that seat. And Sunday, everybody should tune into this show because Ryan Kelly will be our special guest at 6 o'clock.
Ryan Kelly.
He is going to.
He's going to be here in studio.
He's going to have a nice conversation with us about his experience at January 6th and his experience of running for governor and his railroading and the kangaroo court and his presidential pardon.
Yeah, we're going to deal with that.
That will be a good show.
Ryan Kelly will be in studio. I'm sure it's going to be a great one. Hopefully Rumble is not crashed, but I still see that we're up over here on Facebook, Fakebook. So that'll be good. I got 2 other articles here that I was going to point out, and I'm not finding them now that I'm up here in the feeds. Hunter Biden's former partner receives a pardon. He was a whistleblower exposing all the shit going on. And he's been given a presidential pardon by President Trump.
Yeah.
Give us here. I should have clicked on the overhead. There it is. A little bit overhead. There it is. We'll do it again. There we go. Cheers to a good show. Yeah. One for the house.
Did you say Trump has pardoned Hunter Biden?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Hunter Biden's former
his
partner.
Oh.
The whistleblower who exposed all of the shady shit.
Fox News, the New York Times,
Yeah,
the AP.
You got it?
Who want it from?
I don't care. Pull one up and I'll click to you. Give it to me.
Let's do the AP because they're just so much fun.
You got it?
I do.
Go. All right, there it is.
Don't you just love the pictures?
I love the pictures. They're so fabulous.
It's the best picture
President
ever.
Trump. Dude, I've watched it twice now. I literally watched, if you haven't seen it, watch the Kill Tony episode with Trump and Biden. And it's who's the comedian that does Trump? Anyways, hilarious. So Kill Tony is this stand-up improv thing that they do. I think it's in Texas. And they have like 250 people that sign up over in the bar across the street to get a 60-second shot at doing a stand-up routine. Mm-hmm. But they have Tony and a panel. Well, on this particular one, which was a few months, I want to say it was like before the election, they had a comedian that dresses up and does Biden, and they had a comedian that dresses up and does Trump. And it is the whole show is hilarious. It's like 2.5 hours or whatever it is. And it's just the guy who does Trump is hilarious and just shredding. And the guy who does Biden's actually hilarious because he's like, he'll take off his aviators and he'll do the eyes like, hey man, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, hey man. All right, go ahead, Tisha, with the article.
So it says that President Trump on Tuesday pardoned a former business partner of Hunter Biden who was convicted of participating in a conspiracy to defraud a Native American tribe. Devin Archer later became a key figure in the congressional inquiry into the Biden family businesses, telling lawmakers behind closed doors that the younger Biden sold the illusion of access to his father. Mm-hmm. Before signing the pardon, Trump said Archer was treated, quote, very unfairly, close quote. Mm-hmm. White House Staff Secretary Will Sharf said the, quote, tone and tenor of the prosecution changed after Archer began to cooperate with the congressional investigators into the Biden family issues.
Larry.
Yes, sir.
Come over here and sign my paper and give me your final thoughts before you got to go, buddy. And we will finish out the show without you.
Okay.
But come over here and give me a signature. What color you want? You want red?
Yeah, red.
Okay, buddy.
I will
Better red than dead.
Sign it.
Nobody knows that quote anymore. If you're not a historian.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. There it is. Larry's right at the end of the table. In fact, I'm gonna give you the table shot. There's Larry signing it. I appreciate Larry sitting over there at the table. He's learning the buttons. He fucked them up a couple times, but he's doing pretty good. Give me your final thoughts over there, Larry, before you got a jet. I love you, buddy.
Well, you got to tune in for Sunday's show. It's going to be an awesome one. And be vigilant.
Diligent?
Yeah.
Vigilant?
Fight back.
Be diligent.
Diligent.
Yes.
Did I say
you said vigilant. You
vigilant.
were doing a combination of vigilant and diligent.
Yeah, there you go. Vigilant.
And
diligent.
I love it, Larry.
It'll be a word. You keep using it, it'll be a word.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
I'm going to teach you how to do the big webcam over there.
Yeah, there's a big one over here too.
Well, yeah, one of the buttons.
Oh, nice.
But we're not doing it tonight because you've already. I hear your truck starting.
Oh, how'd that happen?
You got your big F-150 back. You didn't like the big leather chair? It leans back way too far, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't like the way it makes me feel like I'm gonna fall backwards.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
So this chair is much more comfortable, actually. So
yeah.
It sits. I like when I'm sitting in.
All right, Larry, give me your final thoughts, buddy. Other than tuning in this Sunday to Ryan Kelly being on the show, what do you got?
Other than that, it's to sit back and enjoy the ride because nothing but greatness awaits us. We have a good president, and sit back and pop some popcorn and watch the liberals as their heads pop.
I thought you were going to say melt the fuck down, but you didn't say it like that.
Yeah, no, their heads are going to be exploding.
As we watch them implode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some will follow Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell.
That would be good.
I recently saw a meme post that Ellen DeGeneres is actually not a Rothschild, one of the
I know who you're talking about.
bloodlines, and it was like identical, doppelganger, like a dude, and she looked like the dude.
It's what?
It was
the other one.
You don't know it?
I can see the guy's face.
Right.
He was the guy that took over the education and pioneered pharma, pioneered the big medical industry. What the fuck's his name?
God damn.
All right, Larry, thank you.
All right,
Rockefeller.
good night, everybody. I've got a big day tomorrow, so I've got to zip out of here.
Larry has a big day tomorrow, which means that Larry has a normal day full of a lot of activity.
I'll say this right now.
It's a
For
big
Larry,
day.
as he's peacing out, and in the name of Jesus Christ, we do pray that when he leaves out of here, he gets driving safe and he gets home. And when he gets home, he is in safety. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. And good.
Thank you for that.
Amen.
Highly efficient day tomorrow as you travel, Larry.
I appreciate that. I've got 10 hours of drive time tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And we will look forward to Larry either being at the table or being over in the booth helping out as we sit down with Ryan Kelly. It'll be a great interview.
Zip across the state of Michigan and back from Pontiac to St. Charles, back to Royal Oak, back to Howell.
Wow.
Get her done. When do you get back to doing asphalt, Larry? You got another month?
No.
For real.
They called me last week and told me 3 weeks. So now we're down to 2 weeks. So
Got a case of Monster Zeros in the truck. Do you need one?
If you don't need those.
Oh, no.
I got to keep my blood pressure down.
Right.
I don't have a problem staying awake. I'm pretty good about it.
Larry's been driving truck for since trucks were invented.
43 years.
Hey,
Since trucks were invented.
I've got delivery drivers at the store.
43 years behind the wheel, 4 million miles, no tickets, no accidents.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Since they invented trucks.
I was gonna say
they invented the truck as soon as the truck was invented and they put the door on the side, they opened it back up and said, Larry, get the fuck in there and drive.
I thought he learned by horse and buggy.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably.
I've driven just about every combination you can think of, from pickup trucks to gravel trains to I've hauled dyes, I've hauled top secret military freight that they wouldn't even tell me what it is, where I was escorted by people in deuce and a halves and carrying M16s.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Military man.
He's a warrior.
Thank you for your service.
So, all right.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right, Larry. Thank you. Peace out.
See
We'll
you
try
on Sunday.
Lieutenant
Don't
Larry.
forget Ryan Kelly.
Lieutenant Larry
will be joining us, and we'll be promoting the show starting tomorrow.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro.
Bye-bye.
We will be trying to manage the show
Drive
as we
safe.
ended out without you. And we're only live on we're live on all of our platforms except for the platform that's actually running the app,
Carrying us.
which is pretty funny. I think it's funny.
I did
I
too.
think it's disturbing.
I'm sorry. I thought it was funny.
Dude, I'm
I
like,
think
wait,
his name should be Lieutenant Larry.
Lieutenant Larry. See, Larry.
I really did. Lieutenant Larry.
Look at all these people. Oh, we got a bunch of people chiming in over there.
Oh boy.
They've probably been
almost
chiming
done.
in the whole show. We just weren't watching.
No, I'm saying on Facebook. See that? See the stuff over there?
Oh.
I like that, man. He had a nice little ending there.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. We like Larry.
I don't know him, but I thought that was really cool.
I had one more article on here I was going to get to. Whitmer is trying to bill us for driving by the mile.
This is the dumbest
Dean
thing
was a little
I've
bit
ever heard of.
feisty on this one. Do you have the article over there, Tisha? Because I
No,
couldn't
but I
find
can
it.
pull it
Pull it
up.
up. Pull it up.
Please pull that shit.
It just
This crazy
Bitch is on
bitch.
fire. This bitch is on fire. Yeah.
The song I think of.
What a.
The song I think of when I think of Whitmer is "Yo crazy bitch," and then it stops there because I don't want any more of the song lyrics to align with her. But just the part that says "you're a crazy bitch,"
I would
yeah, because
rather
we're not
go with
having
the
relations
song.
after that.
No.
I would rather go with the song "Move, bitch,
Get out the way. Move. Yes.
bitch.
Get out the way. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Roll
All right, let
up.
me see.
Got my dukes up. It's a fight out. I'm about to knock you the out.
Oh.
Glow,
Sorry.
that's my generation.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, here it is.
But anyways, where do you want to go with this now?
Come on. I just want to see if there's anything in the article. You got it?
Well, where is the Whitmer shit?
Go ahead.
Gretchen Whitmer won't boost gas taxes, but maybe a mileage tax.
Yeah, because we don't have the highest gas
Gas
taxes
tax
in
ever.
the nation out of any 50 states.
Right.
But she still wants to fix the damn roads, so we got to do it somehow.
Fix the damn roads. Second term. It's not a big deal.
Reimagining the way we fund infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Mileage-based tax system
Okay.
on the quest to fix the damn
Okay.
roads. So as she prepares to start a second, well, blah, blah, blah. This was a while ago, but it said, Whitmer told Bridge, Michigan she will not pursue another fuel tax increase like the one in 2019 that went down in a blaze. Anyway, that's not what the article says. I added that.
You know what?
Would have raised gas taxes by 45 cents, that one.
I don't
But
know how
she's not going to do that. Instead, she wants to kickstart a discussion about how to fund Michigan roads amid the continued shift toward electric, hybrid, and more by
punishing, by taxing.
us
Yeah, that makes
per
sense.
mile. Per mile.
That is the communist way. I'll tell you what. I would be in favor of a tax per mile when you abolish the gas tax completely. Get rid of the gas tax completely. Because you know what? When I go get 5 gallons to fill up my fucking gator to drive around my yard, or put it in the lawnmower so the Vicky can mow the lawn, or put it in my fucking chainsaw with a little mix so that I can cut some trees, why am I paying a fucking gas tax that's going for the roads?
Right.
So I would be in favor of getting rid of the gas tax completely
In mileage?
So
and then just do mileage. But they're not going to do that. They're going to do both
Apparently
and
what
fuck
we
us.
need is that it, according to Gretchen, it's going to, quote, this is a quote, it's going to be important that we convene a group of stakeholders and make sure that it's bipartisan and that we come up with a solution that recognizes the historic transition that's happening in the auto industry. Because traditional ways of funding our infrastructure don't make sense because of that transition.
How about this? Why don't we just open up all the pipelines and let the gas flow?
For fucking real.
And not overcharge us. How about this? Why is fucking diesel the highest price at the pump?
Oh my God.
Over all the gas.
When
diesel is literally comes out of the ground and you can run it through a coffee fucking filter to remove any sediment and you can dump it into your diesel vehicle.
Burning shit waste.
It's the cheapest to refine and it's the highest price at the fucking gas pump.
So stupid.
It's ridiculous.
But our legislature in Michigan
has their heads firmly up their ass.
Well, besides that, but they actually passed part of the budget that would include the road funding that without mileage taxes, without higher gas taxes, it's possible. You just have to fucking sign it. Veto that shit.
No.
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to sign it. No.
Forget it.
Why make something efficient when we can make something that controls the people?
Because the advantage is there, and they already have the advantage. So they're going to
got 2 vehicles, and both vehicles are already, already have miles on them. What are they going to do? Force me at gunpoint to tell them what my odometer reads? Fuck you! I'm giving it to you.
Well, mine is over 250,000. So if they want to come for mine, just make sure to give me an electric vehicle on your way out.
Right, Dino, are you good?
Good. I just had to.
You got to piss?
Yep.
Or are you coming back for final thought?
I'll come for final thought.
Okay. Yeah, you. All right. So that's another one on here that's huge. All this shit that's gone on. We got to everything like that. Patrick, you want to start with some final thoughts, buddy?
I'll sign that.
Okay. Give me some final thoughts here, my friend.
You have my brain on the table.
I do. Yep.
My final thoughts are, we won the battle by getting Trump in office and won the battle by getting the cabinet in that he wants, and won the battle with all the work that he's done. But we have a huge war ahead of us because we're dealing with libtards that just are relentless.
Yeah.
You can't post something positive on Facebook without having the libtards come out of the woodwork, just trying to. They get off track. It has nothing to do with what you posted. They go off on, Trump's doing away with Section 8 housing, and poor elderly people aren't going to be able to get Meals on Wheels. And it's off the deep end. It's beyond ridiculous to the point I don't even want to deal with Facebook anymore. I think I'm going to sign right off of it, not do anything with it at all. But that's on a small level. That's what I'm dealing with. These judges and what they're doing, and Chuck Schumer getting on. I guess Chuck Schumer was getting his constituents' foot up his ass because he wasn't going against what Trump was doing, but now he wants to chime in and try to do whatever they can to stop him.
Right.
And what they do is they get violent. In the last 4 years, with all the shit that Joe Biden's put us through, you didn't see burning dealerships and cars getting smashed and all the insanity that's going on. It didn't happen. Why? Because the Republicans are conservatives and we're far more reasonable. These people are out of control. So I don't know. How do we deal with that? It's a big question.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I guess a conversation for another day. But at any rate,
I think no, I agree with you. Go ahead.
Our war is not over. We're just beginning.
Yeah. I do think, and part of that, Patrick, is the idea that you don't interrupt your enemy when they're destroying themselves. I think part of this is you let them kind of run havoc and then prosecute them accordingly, of course. But don't try to prevent them from showing everybody exactly who the fuck they are, because they're demonic. It's like, do you stop the demoniac on the mountain, or do you just cast the devils out at a certain point after you've had a little conversation and let them go into the pigs and fly off the side of the hill? Kind of my thoughts. Tisha, final thoughts?
So I've been noticeably absent, not from here alone, but from the Republican politics in general.
Yeah. Why?
And that's for a very good reason. Because I've decided to take the stance that if a giant tent was good enough for Ronald Reagan, then we probably don't need an ark in this time. Because it was Reagan that termed or coined the phrase about the big tent and about how it should be big enough to hold all of the Republicans of every thought.
Yeah.
But now, because of the way that the Michigan Republican Party has gone and this faction and that faction and the other one and this one, we need an ark because we have elephants, we have rhinos, we have lions, we have rats, we have, and if you don't know what some of those things are, I can fill you in.
Right.
But it doesn't take an ark.
Right.
It takes a big tent, and it takes learning that just because I may not agree with all of your conspiracies or I may not agree with all of your, doesn't mean we don't have things to win. We are coming up on Michigan elections that will determine who's governor, who's AG, who's Secretary of State. Some judges will be up on a ballot. And while we're over here infighting, like we always do as Republicans, because we seem to kick our own,
they can't get out of their own way to do it right.
My friend said it best a number of years ago now, because I haven't been at a state convention in years.
I'm missing it.
Since DePerno won the thing for Secretary of State, so 4 years ago, 3 years ago. The reason why Republicans didn't win is solely based on Republicans.
100%.
It's our fault.
Oh, yeah.
And so if we go back through this 2026 situation with the same candidates, because they're all lining up in the same way, looks like it's going to be Tudor Dixon, Garrett Soldano, and all these other people that kind of win an election if they had to. If we go in there trashing each other, there's no way we can win that way.
Right.
But it's hard to be unified when you've got everybody telling you that you're wrong.
Agreed.
So this whole thing about unity in the Republican Party is a joke. Because while we're kicking ourselves,
it comes down from our leadership too. I watched our leadership here take credit with the lowest amount of people running for delegates in our county.
Right.
To add to what you were saying, you were the person that talked me into running for his delegate.
It's your fault.
It's all my fault.
So I am.
But you know what?
I am a delegate. I ran for delegate. I became a delegate, and not only became a delegate, but I sat on the executive committee, and I was the chairman of the election integrity committee.
Okay.
I put a fuck ton of work into that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
It
a
takes
huge
work.
amount of work. Huge amount of work.
It takes work.
And my thank you for that was, I actually hired an attorney to get me out of it without getting my ass kicked. Okay. I actually paid money to have an attorney.
It's my fault. I get it.
No.
But
it's
like,
not.
That's the way it is.
No.
But you were doing the right thing of getting us involved.
Yeah.
Right.
And the party.
It's the party that
fucked it up.
Over.
The stupid little shit that went on was beyond ridiculous. I couldn't believe.
If you think that's bad, you should hear what's going on in the Saginaw County Republican Party, and I refuse to join them.
It's all District 8, isn't it?
Are we still on?
Are you District 8?
No. I forgot.
Are we
what
over
district
this?
I'm in.
No, we're still going, buddy.
It's bullshit. It's the things that have gone on in the party in the last, I'll call it 6 years. I'm not even going to call it 2 years. The last 6 years have been absolutely asinine.
Yeah, 100%.
And I wasn't mad when Pete Hoekstra took it over, to tell you the truth. And you guys can hate me for that or whatever you want to do.
Oh,
I'm a rhino. I know it. I don't care anymore. I've been called a rhino. I've been called a rat. A Republican against Trump. I voted for the guy 3 times. Don't tell me about how much I'm against Trump.
Christina Karama didn't have the business acumen to frickin' handle it properly.
But the people with the loudest mouths are the ones taking over.
Yep.
And when you have people with loud mouths instead of people with the ability to win a race,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just what's going to happen.
Well, I walked away from it.
Right. Final thoughts from Dino in just a second. Apparently, this is breaking right now. Game over 7 minutes ago. This was posted March 22nd. So I don't know how. Elon announces that he's acquired MSNBC for $900 million to put an end to the toxic program. I don't know if that's true. If that is true, I did, for me right there, I put a little ha 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 on there. So I think it's a ha ha ha. Like that's Elon's ha ha ha.
Yeah, you're promoting lies. It's all rigged.
It's all rigged. Yeah.
Definitely riveted.
Yeah. So, Dino, final thoughts, buddy. Give me your final thoughts on, well, at least sign my paper. I'm going to go to overhead.
Okay. So apparently he floated the idea beginning in 2024.
But he has not done it?
I don't see where he's
Okay.
actually accomplished that.
Okay. I would love to see it accomplished.
As would I.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really not going to riff off of what she is saying.
What do you
don't
got?
have
What's
to.
your final thought, buddy?
That's your
What's your
final
final thought?
My final thought is this is an opportunity for me to do something fucking major. And I just want to say that I've dedicated my life to Jesus Christ. And it's been an amazing ride for the last year. And I still hear his voice. And he drew me to this place so I could say this to you. That don't give up. For it's only a reach away. Just like she was underneath his garment.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good, Dino. Appreciate that. I want to say this. In the company of old friends, there is an implicit, I got to go back to us over here. In the company of old friends, there is an implicit permission to be authentically ourselves, free from the pretense or fear of judgment. So no matter where life currents takes you, having these long-standing confidence on speed dial is a blessing that deserves to be cherished. I cherish every one of you at the table, and Larry, who's gone, and a few people in the past that have been part of the show. I have said over and over again, I like to have conversation with people. I like to have dialogue. Is a dialogue centered around some of these political things, some of these newsworthy articles? Yes. But I like to have a dialogue with everybody. I like to have a conversation with everybody and just talk. You know, I grew up in an environment where that's why I love having the big kitchen downstairs in the man cave, because even tonight, that's one of the purposes of me cooking dinner for everybody. Sometimes other people bring stuff, but most of the time it's I get to cook for everybody. And I like to recap the enjoyment of that cooking, because I want everybody to feel relaxed, enjoy a good meal, and have a conversation and talk. And we brought up, I like to remember those things that we talked about during dinner, and sometimes revisit them when we come upstairs and say, you said this during dinner, you said this during dinner, you said that during dinner, and bring those up, because I grew up in those environments, both sides of the family, you know, Soika side, the Gibbs side, where we were in these kitchens, we were hanging out. Everybody was, not everybody was participating in the preparation of the meal, but you were there, and the men were having conversations, the women were having conversations, the kids were bopping around doing their thing, and it was a family thing where you were in these. And a lot of times it was these small little kitchens, you know, to where you couldn't, you're tripping over each other, and you got, hey, I move back, I got to get the stuff out of the oven, you know. But it was great, it was awesome, and it was this dynamic of having these conversations and just sometimes it got a little heated. Sometimes it got a little, somebody has felt their opinion was really hardcore. And sometimes it was relaxing. And you listen to my grandfathers, my grandpa Soika, my grandpa Gibbs, used to just share these stories. They were both known as storytellers. And you just.
Well, the women would always compare recipes and ideas
all sorts,
they always want to do stuff.
Yeah. Oh, this tastes great. How did you do this? What did you do? Oh, I'm keeping that. And they would keep that shit to themselves. And so there was a lot. So when I sit down and do the show, I've always wanted to have just that conversation, and keep that stuff going. And so that's the most important thing to me is, are we having a conversation when we do the show? We put out this whole agenda I put together, sometimes a little bit before the show, sometimes right before the show, but I've got all that stuff on it, and I have everybody at the end of it sign my paper, and what I like to do is I like to have this as a template, an outline, but not make it an absolute thing that we have to follow. It's something that we're going to get to in the process, the purpose of having a conversation. I'm not trying to be a news show. I'm not trying to be any of these other things. I'm trying to have a conversation with people, and other people join us in chat and enjoy that conversation. And they chime in and they do stuff.
Hallelujah.
I'm about enjoying the people that are sitting here at the table.
Yep.
This coming Sunday, privileged to have Ryan Kelly coming in, ran for governor. We've had Kevin Rinke on before, ran for governor. We've had a number of other people, but I'll tell you what, nobody is more or less important in their social status to me. You are more important if you have more connection with me on a daily basis, right?
That is right.
Tisha, we've known each other for
way too many years.
A long time. She used to babysit my kids when they were little.
I was 16 and I'm going to be 46.
Okay. My oldest son just celebrated his 33rd birthday.
Not possible.
And you babysitted him at what? 7, 8 years old? Maybe even 6?
Maybe younger. Yeah.
Maybe younger.
Ola was like in diapers.
Right. So he had to be 5 because Nicole, they're 33, 31, and 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 32, 33, 32, and 30. That's how it goes. Because Vince turns, his birthday's in December, and then Al turns. Anyways, my whole point is that longevity. We've had some patches. We've worked through those.
Yep.
Dino, how long have I known you?
In a matter of fact, I'd say since 2020 when we had it over at Bill's.
Is that
and then
it?
by 2021,
okay.
Boom.
So,
A hoist right there where the stage is.
So at least 4 or 5 years.
And the podcast was downstairs and this table was down there.
Yeah. So the podcast is going on 5 years.
And there were garage doors here, and the bar was in the corner over there.
Yeah.
That's where me and you met.
Yeah. Made a lot of adjustments. But so I started the show out with our friend Tony. Tony I've known for 20 plus years. You need me? I'll take a little splash, just a slight splash as we end the show. But my final thoughts, he's good. Dino's good. My final thoughts though are cherish the people that you have around you. Just like I had in the quote tonight. I don't know who, I tried to figure out the quote of it, but the blessings of those that you have on speed dial or that you can just connect with, I can tell you this, guys, there isn't a person at the table that I haven't had conflicts with.
You know what our idea is about life?
Yeah.
So I really
is
did
that
pitch
everybody definitely in their life wants a beach life, a very comfortable wave life. And the only way we're going to be there is if what you just explained.
Yeah.
Is that even in an echo, a chamber, a wave away, she came back, and everybody always cultivates in such a way, but they always come back.
Right, and that's
full circle.
And that's the thing is, there isn't anybody at the table that I haven't had some conflicts with.
Right.
But you know what? You know why I'm not afraid of that is because in Proverbs it says the wounds of a friend can be trusted.
Aye.
And if I wound you or you wound me as a friend, but we're truly friends, we can work. It'll work itself out.
Yes,
and when
sir.
you come back, you go, "What did I learn? What did you learn? Okay, are we good?"
And talk about
it. And you talk about it and you work it out, and hopefully you're both healthier and better for it.
It is.
I think of this dynamic of wounds of a friend can be trusted. And I think of we're building the gym down the road, and
right.
I was talking with Matt about this, the owner there, and I said, you know what, Matt, we were driving, we were bringing back some material, and I said, you know, buddy, I said, the reality is you're building a facility where people come in and literally tear themselves down in order to allow their body to build itself back up.
Damn right.
So if the wounds of a friend can be trusted, and you know that pain trains, and that there's no gain without pain,
right?
Then you have to realize that you have to go through struggle. We all have to go through struggle to become our better selves. We have to come against conflict before we sometimes take a step back and go, is my idea worth destroying a friendship, or do I acquiesce in the moment to make sure that friendship is sustained? And we have to assess that, because sometimes you go, no, I need to wreck this friendship in order for the friendship to then be rebuilt on the understanding that I know I'm in the...
to burn the bridge just because you need to take a break.
Correct, yeah.
Do you mind if I explain my story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you mind if I expose exactly?
Yeah.
So I used to work for this man, and I had a really hard time with something that I couldn't adjust to, and I thought I could use it to get me to a place where I was always focused. That limitless drug. Well, it was Adderall, and I tried to hide it for so long, but I came to an ultimate end, and I said, well, you know what? I have to escape. So I did. And I ran away, and I ran away for 7 days away from him until I had to face him. And I knew I had to open that phone back up and see all the text messages. He was horrified. I left him in despair. He was like, dude, what the fuck? Dude, are you all right? Did you die? Are you alive? I mean, I left somebody in distress. But 3 years later, I realized that the Lord had brought me back to him to help him understand that friends can adjust and we can come back together.
100%. And now we're looking forward to planning a fishing trip together.
Yes.
Yep.
It's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Amen.
And that's what it's about. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Sorry about we had no control over Rumble. We'll figure it out. I'll probably have to repost actually the stream that continued on the other platforms on Rumble. But thank you guys for switching and tuning in. We'll be able to make it through. But like, share, and subscribe. Do this. Go to thealexjonesstore.com/thisismybrain. Buy a supplement. They're fucking awesome. Just read the description, and whatever you need in your life, whatever you're dealing with, read the description. Go check them out. I take the turmeric, the Bod Ease turmeric. I take Nitric Boost. I take Brain Force. There's 2 or 3 other ones down there in my drawer. I turned Patrick onto specifically the Brain Force and the turmeric. The Bod Ease. They're phenomenal. You got aches and pains. I play hockey. I do carpentry, stuff like that. I got aches and pains all over the place. You want to have a healthy, natural supplement that provides it and it actually works. Take Bod Ease. It's 95% curcumin from turmeric. It's phenomenal. I take it. I try to take it on a daily basis. I miss sometimes. You know what? I don't take my supplements when I feel really good. It's when my body starts to hurt me that I go, shit, I forgot to take my supplements.
Well,
I think
if I can chime in,
the majority of people are like that. Oh,
yeah,
the
your
Turbo
son,
Force.
Vince, yes, dude. He showed me all of these different supplements,
and they're phenomenal.
and
they
they
work.
had all different, like, No, I'm talking like dynamically.
Yeah.
They had different specific areas.
Yeah.
If it was brain, it needed brain.
Yeah.
If it was here, or there,
yeah.
it had that. So he gave me like 5 of them. So I was like, I don't know what they are, but you do.
Yeah. No, I can tell you.
But I'm saying that they did a wonder on me last week.
Yeah. And you actually feel them working.
Yes.
And that's the huge thing about it. Yes. So, and it also, because we're an affiliate with them, it'll help the show. thealexjonesstore.com/this is my brain. Go on there, check out something, check it out to buy it. And you help support the show. And maybe I can pay off some of the equipment that I've got here. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all of you. Love you, Patrick, Tisha, and Dino. And Larry, though he's gone. It's great. You know why he said Trisha? Because he was so focused on not fucking up Patrick's name that he decided to fuck yours up. You know how many times he said action instead of Acton?
Uh-huh.
He's like, and Patrick Acton, action.
Hey, boss, can we end this so we can do a karaoke song?
Oh, good grief.
I want to do karaoke right now.
Well, we have to do it.
He's so choked up.
We have to do it down there, though.
I want to.
No. We're gonna end the show, guys.
No, we should record that.
We can do a different recording. Like, share, subscribe. Well, guys, we'll catch you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll figure out what's going on with all the attacks with Rumble. But we're out of here.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg.
Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey,
dude,
that's an egg.
Seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large brown cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with hot cakes?
A sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they got to be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Has it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?
No, I eat steak.
Never apologize and never explain.
Never apologize.
Yeah. Never apologize and never explain.